make we reason, make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation,
You were a taxi
uncover the
driver and
truth,
it
every
was your
reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Jamaica, and welcome to another edition of the Make We Talk program. I am your host, Jeffrey Tavares, and tonight we'll be digging deep into one of the most pressing questions on the mind of many Jamaicans that our nation face in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. Is relief supply reaching the most vulnerable in our society? Across the island from St. Elizabeth to Westmoreland, from Clarendon to St. Mary, all over the place, reports continue to surface that many communities are still without basic necessities: water, food, shelter, and medical care. The government has promised shelter. The government has promised swift action. But the question we're asking tonight, it's nearly 2 weeks now. Is Jamaicans getting help from their government? Many will say, yes, they are. And many people will question, why am I asking this? Many will question, why am I asking this? But many people have called me and saying that they're not getting any help. They get help from other people within the entertainment industry and other bloggers. But is the government of Jamaica truly helping the people who need it most? The most vulnerable? People who lives up in the mountains of Cornwall Mountain in Westmoreland, Lagwood in Hanover, Darliston in Westmoreland. And we can call other names where a lot of people are not seeing anyone to come and assist them. And when we ask questions like these, many people will say, we're taking this thing out of proportion. Many will say that we're being political. But we're not being political tonight. These questions that other Jamaicans have been asking from all walks of life. Questions that need answers. Questions that we, the Jamaican people, are seeking answers for. Our beloved Westmoreland, whether it be Western Westmoreland or Eastern Westmoreland or Central Westmoreland, our beloved Westmoreland is in need of help. And many ask the question, aren't they getting help? When veteran journalist Zara Burton asks about deploying drone crew to assist in cleaning up carcasses along the streets of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, including myself, laugh at her. But Miss Burton asks a very serious and pertinent question. What is the government doing with the dead carcasses along the road? What is the government doing with dead bodies in houses? Many people are still marooned because of the road is blocked or water is up to roof level. Are they giving us the true figure of death in this country? How many Jamaicans really died? What is the plan to rebuild houses in this country? We're being told that the estimate, preliminary estimates of the damage in this country is nearly 2.5 trillion Jamaican dollars. This evening, as I come on air, we're asking some questions. I'm going to have some guests come on this evening to speak to us. I'm going to have a president of the Transport Development Sustainable Services, Edgerton Newman, to come and talk to us. What is the taxi industry doing for the most vulnerable within the taxi industry? There's a video that I want to show with a taxi man who in St. Catherine, or Catherine Hall in Montego Bay, rather, he's flooded out. His car is flooded out. What are they doing to assist? And many Jamaicans, many Jamaicans tonight are still in the element of the sky. Mosquitoes biting them. And one will think that the government of this country would have evacuated those who they can evacuate and put them to the national arena or the national stadium. But we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. We're going to open up the phone lines as soon as I do this. So let's show you this video. We're going to open up the phone lines. But we have so many things to talk about. I want to show you a video here where a member of Parliament, Zalika Jess, from St. Elizabeth, I think St. Elizabeth Eastern, is giving thanks to entertainer Movado, who came to their assistance. Vive Cartel, who came to both Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Hanover, Trelawney assistance. The question we're asking tonight, many are saying that the government is doing a great job. Many Jamaicans are saying that the government is doing a great job, while many are asking the question, what is the government truly doing? What is the government truly doing? Is the government of this country truly helping the people of Jamaica? Funds are coming in. Aid is coming in. What is going on? Why is it taking so long for people to get help? Zalika Jess of St. Elizabeth is giving thanks to Movado. Has the government really gone to St. Elizabeth to help this member of parliament? I want to show you a video here where she's giving Movado thanks. Here we go.
I want to thank you from the bottom. So Movado, on behalf of Northeastern St. Elizabeth, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have answered the call. We have been a constituency in need since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. And we really want to thank you, your team, Frost, everybody, for really making this possible. We appreciate the donation. It's going to go a mighty far way. And blessings and love. Thank you.
There you go. Have we truly seen members of the government? When the election was around, this prime minister is up and down throughout the length and breadth of Jamaica in the wee hours of the night. But are we seeing this prime minister now? Are we, the people, seeing this prime minister up and down in the wee hours of the night helping? Trying to assist the people? Are we seeing that? Many of us are asking some very serious questions. You see, we're in this video here, I think this is video here, where well-known entertainer, the queen of dancehall, she dubbed herself Spice, is helping the people. You see where the Chinese community has gone out to help our Jamaican people. We're not seeing so much of the government out there. I want to show you a video with Spice here. There is Spice giving out stuff. Are we seeing our members of parliament doing this? What we're seeing is entertainers, Jamaicans with good hearts, Jamaicans who trump up some money and get some money from overseas is helping. What are we seeing of this government or any other politicians in this country? My question this evening is nearly 2 weeks that this hurricane ravished our nation. It's nearly 2 weeks that this hurricane looked like it had a time bomb on our country or an atomic bomb. And we are asking questions. Are we going to get the answers? Many people, elderly people in the hills of Westmoreland, not getting any help. One person over 9 days now, they haven't even eaten. They haven't eaten a thing. Good night to Gigi. Good night to all those who are in the chat room. Hi, good night to you all. Welcome. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk YouTube channel. We're asking questions. If we have entertainers in this country who step up to the plate to help their fellow Jamaicans, those who we have put to lead this country during an election fever, that travel the length and breadth of Jamaica to the wee hours of the morning, campaigning, where are they now? Flying around in helicopters is one, to assess the situation is one, yes. But we must ask questions why the Prime Minister is not walking the length and breadth of this country, traveling his Prada, taxpayers' Prada, to seek help for the people, to go out and give the people help. Entertainers has pledged to assist, has pledged to help, and they are helping. And I guarantee you, when all of this is over and done with, by the help of Almighty God, that there will be a warehouse locked up with some stuff in there. I'm going to hear that those things in the warehouse spoiled. They were supposed to give it to poor people in this country. The Prime Minister is telling the Jamaican people, and many may say that I'm hitting out against Andrew Holness, is not that. The Prime Minister cannot be telling the Jamaican people that generators is given to them. They are going to loan the people the generators. That's not so, Mr. Prime Minister. The government of the Cayman Islands, along with A.L. Thompson in the Cayman Islands, has donated some generators to Jamaica. Why is it that you're going to loan the people the generators? That should not be, sir. That should not be. And if you care about the Jamaican people, Mr. Holness, what you should have coordinated, sir, look for a place in St. Elizabeth, an open lot. Clean up that open lot. Put some mall or whatever on it. Drop some tents for the people to have an area they can go and bathe and get a hot food. If it wasn't for the mercy of the World Kitchen, Jamaicans would die like a fly. If it wasn't for the mercy of the kitchen that is in Jamaica from overseas, who's helping out, Jamaicans will be dropping like flies in this country. Because this government lack the leadership to provide for its people in the time of natural disaster. Mr. Holness will go on national radio and TV and criticize bloggers like myself, but quite frankly, I don't care. Quite frankly, I really don't care. What we need is leadership in this country. We don't want any political PNP and JLP stupidness. We need a leader of the people for the people. And same way, Mr. Holness, that you can travel the length and breadth of this country in an election fever, campaigning for you to become the next prime minister of this country, and you got it. Why can't you travel the length and breadth of this country same way? Why can't you, in the couple days after Hurricane Melissa, why didn't you, Mr. Holness, have the JDF to create a community, in a sense, where you have a tent, where people could come and charge their phone, have a Starlink there? Why, when you went down to Westmoreland, Mr. Prime Minister, didn't you give the Salomon Hospital a Starlink? People may say, Jeffrey, why are you going down that road? But the truth is the truth. The people are not getting the aid they're supposed to get. And I'm not being political. I am not. What we are saying is that Jamaica, our Jamaican people, and if we do not do something about what is going on between Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and other parishes in this country that get affected, we're going to have a humanitarian crisis in our hand. A humanitarian crisis in our hand. I see we're in the United States Deputy Secretary of State for the United States. Let me get this thing here. Let me get his name correctly here. Yes. The Undersecretary of State for the State Department of the United States had a press conference at Jamaica House today. And I want you to listen to what the gentleman said. Let me take back this up here. I want to listen to what the gentleman said. This is what the gentleman, let's take down Spice for a minute. There's a gentleman here. I want to listen to what he said.
It's a privilege to be here. The Secretary Rubio on one of his first international trips came to Jamaica and said, correctly that Jamaica is one of the United States' oldest and closest allies, and that means we will be here in the good times and also in the bad times. So we are very fortunate that we were able to mobilize a tremendous amount of U.S. government resources to help respond in the early days of this crisis. We formed a disaster response team even before the hurricane made landfall. They were able to get here, within a day as soon as the airports and air infrastructure allowed them to come. We brought search and rescue teams from LA and Fairfax County, 70 personnel that we brought in here. They had dogs and chainsaws, and they're experts at sort of moving roads, finding people, rescuing them from difficult situations, and then almost immediately started bringing humanitarian assistance in from our hubs, activating our network of partners, NGOs, from Samaritan's Purse to the UN World Food Program, and in addition, the United States Department of War has significant assets in the region, which we are able to bring under our control. So we were able to bring in heavy lift helicopters, nearly 100 military personnel. They've moved more than 500,000, and that was this morning, and now they're doing a few more flights, so it's going to be way more, 500,000 pounds of life-saving aid, and so their work continues, and our work continues. So with that in mind, I'm announcing an additional $10 million in critical life-saving assistance to the people of Jamaica. That brings our total to $22 million to date. The financial commitments are only one side of it. That doesn't include all the military personnel, all the search and rescue, but the financial commitments are very significant and help underscore just how important Jamaica is to the United States and to the Secretary. Jamaican people, like our people, are
Now tell me something now. The United States, England, and other countries has given aid to Jamaica. Why is it? It is taking the government of this country so long to distribute to the people who are mostly affected. Why is it taking so long for them to clear roads? It is entertainers like Spice and Vibe Cartel who has paid. I am not saying the government don't do it, Don't get me wrong. I am not saying the government is not doing it. But what I'm saying is this. They are taking too long. You have Spice, Vibe Cartel, and other entertainers who has paid backhoes, or whatever they want to call it, to clear roadways in this country. And that is why the renew call for the Public Works Department must be assembled in this country in every parish. It cannot be a natural disaster. We have to wait until road agency come down to clear roads. No. Back in the days, we have the Public Works Department in every parish. And the Public Works Department has tractors and bulldozers and whatever to help to clear roads. Why have to wait so long? Let's listen to what the Secretary of State have to say some more.
Are proud and resilient, and we have every faith that they will rebound quickly and will build back even better. So with that in mind, we will be here. We will be here tomorrow. We will be here next month. We'll be here for every stage of this recovery, and we look forward to continuing. I think Jamaica, this is our backyard. I mean, I think like Laura, who's here, the secretary, and I are all from Miami, which is like 500 miles away. We have, 1 million Jamaican Americans. I learned that 2.5 million Americans, we think, come here every year. So it's just tremendously close ties. And that is, we take it very, very, very seriously that we look after our neighbors and our allies, and we'll continue to do so. It's a privilege to be here, and thank you, Prime Minister, for your leadership during this crisis.
There you have it.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary. We've always...
Undersecretary of State for the United States Department had a press conference in Jamaica with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. It's going to take team effort. You're going to take every single Jamaican on deck, hands on deck, to help to mobilize this country. And that is why we are asking the question tonight. Is relief supply reaching the most vulnerable in our country who is affected by Hurricane Melissa? Is it? I'll show you some more videos before my guest coming on. It's now 6:40. At 7 o'clock, I have some guests coming on with me. I want to show you a video with a taxi driver out of Catherine Hall in St. James. And then I'm going to have a comment from the president of the... Hold on there for me. Hello, good night. Make we talk. You're live. Hello?
Hello, good night.
Yes.
Hey, Jeffrey, you're on?
Yes, I'm live.
Oh, you have 2 minutes or 4 minutes?
To speak? Yes, you can go ahead and speak.
Yeah. Hey, Jeffrey, I want Jamaica to realize when we had COVID, we got more than our budget in loans and in grant. It never helped Jamaica. If people wanna remember, Desmond Mackenzie get 30-something million for unattached shoot. If you ever see the little building where he built downtown and put him name on it. The PNP is late. And when I say they are late, Jeffrey, I'm meaning to say that the money is being moved in transportation.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
Jeffrey, the money is down there. The aid is down there, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the people them who are moving the aid for the government is the same government. A big budget, you're gonna hear how much it costs to move, to give away the free stuff them. That's basically what I'm saying to you, Jeff.
But if so that is the case, caller. Many Jamaicans who lives in the hills of Orange Hill and other places in Westmoreland and in some places in St. Elizabeth who are marooned can't come out.
But Jeffrey, they are marooned, Jeffrey. And listen to me, you know, Jeffrey. They are marooned, and you have people who have charity like Andre, like Cartel, and all those people you see have charity, Jeffrey, and they're doing what they can do, and they are getting to places even when we don't see soldiers, Jeffrey. If the government wanted to help the people, Jeffrey, you have thousands of people who are willing to distribute, who are willing to cut road, to cut bushes, to get to the people and issue the food, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, sometimes them have a thing where say, it's either you want to do it or you don't want to do it. When you hear them say, Jeffrey, even if them never prepare, and the aid is down there, Jeffrey, they could have established points in every parish so far, Jeffrey, where when the aid come off of the plane, Jeffrey, because every aid, because me in logistics, everything that you ship, Jeffrey, it come with paperwork.
Exactly.
So everything is on the inventory. Because when the company send it out, the company have to tick it off too. Plus when it come at the airport, even though I rush them, have to scan it in to say this, that. And the thing is on there for Jamaica as the receipt, same way. So them can just transfer the receipt and we know what is what and what is what. But they don't want no transparency, Jeffrey. And as part of that, that's why they must set it up, Jeffrey, with them say we want move it to supermarket or move it to your son. The food should have been going to places where you establish as aid place, or that's where the food is, where it's only government food, government building, and people go there. It shouldn't be that everything is being issued by a politician. It should be that there's an agency or a building where you go to, or these people from this building, they go and give it out to the people. When I tell you, Jeffrey, that give me 1 minute, Jeffrey. 1 second. That's when I tell you, Jeffrey, that the people who work have no voice. The police commissioner have no voice. The judges, them have no voice. All you see them going on. Look for them liars who you see. Most of them people who work for the government don't have any voice in a different part of the government who's supposed to hold the government accountable. That's why Andrew could come out after and keep on appointing temporary people to lead ODPM and come out and say the man never suitable. When him take with them voice and them allow him to take with them voice, because when him come to them and ask him for information and he got the expert, them fi push him to the side. And this should be a lesson to a lot of those people to realize that when you're in a position to lead, you should lead. And the Bible says, a leader without a vision shall make the people perish. And that is what's happening. Everything is down there to issue to the people, and you're not getting it. The soldiers, them, you have 6,000 soldiers, and all know in a state of emergency, no soldiers should have been home. They should have been stayed at strategic point. Why you think even the lady who is leading the army, see, she don't have no voice.
Let me say something to
you. None of them don't have no voice, Jeffrey.
Let me say something to you, sir. You know, I was speaking to, I won't call any name. And I was speaking to the person about how is it that they have organized or coordinate places where after the hurricane you have a main area, a communication hub in St. Elizabeth, where people can come there, charge their phone, come there, have a hot meal or something, if it wasn't for the mercy of the world, what they call it, kitchen, something like that.
World Kitchen.
Yes. Jamaicans be dying.
But Jeffrey, that shows you World Kitchen left and come set up kitchen when the man them send the food come here from the food is here already. And people is here can cook the food. Just like up to this moment while we're speaking, Jeffrey, we have people sleeping outside, Jeffrey.
In
And
the
the Prime Minister don't say, listen, we have so many empty places, whether private place, hotels, my people shall not sleep outside. Look, how much tent the man have when you go out and reach the people?
you know something to call her? And I am yet to have somebody in authority to come and tell me, say, no, Jeffrey, can't happen. The Prime Minister has declared Jamaica a disaster area. So, in my estimate, or in my thinking, the Prime Minister have the authority to commandeer a hotel and say to the owner of the hotel, I'm commandeering this building. Because the people of St. Elizabeth has nowhere to live. The people of Westmoreland has nowhere to live. Some people, hold on for me. Some people in Hanover, so on and so forth, has nowhere to live. Until now, the Prime Minister don't even say to the Minister of Culture, Olivia Babsy Grange, that we will open up the National Arena and the National Stadium and bring the people, truck them with JUTC bus, bring them up who can go to if JUTC bus can go down to Black River, bring up the people, give them shelter, or have a place in St. Elizabeth where you can put up some huge tents. I remember when General Honore, I think his name, when Hurricane Katrina hit, and he was the one speaking on the behalf of what is going on with our plan. How is it? We hear nothing from the Chief of Defense Staff. If the JDF is coordinating this issue, if the JDF is coordinating this thing, why would I hear anything from the JDF? Why is it that Jamaicans are still in the element of the night dew, in the element of the sun, and Jamaicans are going to look at me, some Jamaicans of the Vumva and the Vumva V, going to look at me and tell me they are doing a great job.
Jeffrey, if you want to know how great of a job they're doing, Jeffrey, this is how great of a job they're doing. Tufton spent $20-something billion to renovate the hospital. The hospital don't have a backup generator. The hospital don't have Starlink, because $200 and $300.
But not only that, sir. The Prime Minister flew to Savlamar Hospital, and he didn't carry a Starlink with him. He's a member of the Overseas Press. Hold on for me. He's a member of the Overseas Press, went down there and gave them a Starlink.
Jeffrey, the Prime Minister is not first responder, Jeffrey. And the first thing, the bad optics that the Prime Minister did was to load himself into a plane.
No. Hold on. No. I'm going to disagree with that. The Prime Minister, hold on for me. After Hurricane Gilbert, Prime Minister Edward George Philip Siaga went on a U.S. cargo plane, flew over the damaged areas in Jamaica. The Prime Minister have a right to do that, sir. And I will go, hold on for me now, and I will go further. The Prime Minister has the right to give the leader of the opposition access to a helicopter, or the leader of the opposition along with the Prime Minister should be on a helicopter themselves. Both of them surveying the area.
Right. Okay, Jeffrey, I agree with you. But this is where I disagree with you. Jeffrey, we don't have enough helicopters. Right, Jeffrey?
Hold on there for me. Back in the days, we didn't have enough helicopter either. Yet Edward Siaga went around. No, we must call a spade, man.
All right. We call a spade, but me disagree with you. And I disagree with you by saying this to you, Jeffrey. We don't have enough helicopters. The time what we take, me not say the Prime Minister couldn't ride in the helicopter, Jeffrey. But when him ride in the helicopter, that helicopter should have been filled.
It all depends on how much helicopter can carry, sir, and who was with the Prime Minister.
Jeffrey, you hear me say, Jeffrey? This is not a time for him go fly over. This is a time for first responders, Jeffrey.
Yes, I agree with you.
Jeffrey, you know, say while him a fly over, if him need carry one Panadol, he could have saved somebody life.
I agree with you, caller.
Okay. So I'm saying to you, Jeffrey, we have to call a spade a spade. Him have right to fly over, Jeffrey.
Yes.
But just him flying over, him not offer none to the people them, Jeffrey.
True.
Because in the people them time of them neediest, Jeffrey, not even a bottle of water. You take up a Jeffrey, when we see the helicopter, Jeffrey, the helicopter empty, you know. More than a couple people within it, it's empty, you know. And you tell me, say, the amount of optics and people where you have a video you, to put you, to show you, and then you have time to dress up in a jacket and all these things, Jeffrey. You know, in times of crisis.
You know what I don't understand? Honestly, if I remember, you know, and that's why, you know, Jamaicans must look into this, you know. I remember the aftermath of Hurricane Gilbert. Edward Siaga was on the ground with his people. Michael Manley was on the ground with his people. This Prime Minister is a total different kettle of fish. He does not care.
Jeffrey, the man does not care. All him care about is the limelight. And I'm going to show you too, for the people in Jamaica understand, and some of your favorite ministers, them when at the Labour Party, is the same thing them do. Because when I say them take with the people, them voice, you know, Jeff.
Yes.
When you have stuff coming in, you know, in a time of emergency like this, you might have a one government official who might always do a meeting with the people, but it should be all the PM who receive all of those things and all of those invoices immediately be inputted in where the information is stored and then things is distributed. But every time you see a picture, them people are them more all the ribbon them left in no cutter because Melissa wash where the ribbon or you must wash where the scissors. Because me not see them bring it on. But that's all they do, Jeffrey. I'm not saying them not doing something, but they could do a lot more. You're telling me
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong.
You're telling me that they get free stuff, Jeffrey. Free stuff, Jeffrey. Free stuff to give away to the people. To give away to the people. Even when I hear people talk about generator and the government, they should show the people the state of affairs. The state of affairs. The government do not have anything back up, not even for the police. Not even for the police.
You know, I sit here, you know, and when I see videos coming into me, there's a man on Mr. Newman's platform who believes that he knows it all. And he will, if he posts a video, doesn't matter what it is, he has to comment on it. And when you post a video, he's saying, nothing no gossip. When it's coming from either your family members or your friend. Now you have some Jamaicans who not go nowhere. They sit in the comfort of their house and they chat all sort of nonsense. I look on some videos, caller, and it grieved my heart. I saw Zalika Jessop St. Elizabeth appealing to the government for help to fix the road. She said she can get somebody to get some mall. And they told her, no, it's the National Work Agency must do it. So you're saying to me, the people are marooned because there's no road. And they must stay dead for hungry.
But Jeffrey, look at this, Jeffrey.
My God.
The Prime Minister said when him fix road for 50 last for your lifetime, Timmy lifetime, and so much lifetime.
The Prime Minister is not
hold on, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, Jeffrey. And a lot of those road projects, because me I tell you say the National Work Agency, it's one of the agencies we don't have no voice anymore, and it's just a drain the country. The National Work Agency oversee a lot of those projects. And Jeffrey, every time I see a road, I be like Jamaica, Jeffrey, even when me go to Jamaica, even at the community them, not one drain. Not one drain, Jeffrey, to connect all of them road there. Not one, Jeffrey. And when you look and you see most of them road that will pop up, Jeffrey, if you ever see the little pipe, even if you man them put a drain, Jeffrey, if you ever see the drain where them put, I would have put thrown off water for the side of our house.
You know something, sir? This has been going on in this country ever since I know myself. Back in the days, the Public Works Department used to build roads properly. I don't know which party disbanded the Public Works Department, but they did it. And all of a sudden, they're building the road them flat. They don't build the road to the water lead off on the side of the road, you know. It's flat, so it must go flood. And all of a sudden, every single one of them have their friends and cronies who are contractors and engineers for road.
Okay, and look at this now, Jeffrey. We have a agency like the National Work Agency, Jeffrey, that have to do work in all 14 parishes, Jeffrey. And right now, as me tell you, Jeffrey, the National Work Agency probably don't have 1,000 trucks. The National Work Agency has become a contracting firm. All them do is work and say them supervise contract, and them not doing nothing else.
Let me say something to you, sir. Let me say something to you, sir. This country, whether peanut power or jail peanut power, they have the tendency. I bet you any money. I bet you any money. When the People's National Party gain state power, the election win, they're gonna buy some more garbage truck again. Because you know why? There is not a central area where you take the garbage trucks to go and fix. And if there it is, some of them they don't fix them. You know the amount of water trucks that is on a piece of land.
I know where you're talking down a Montego Bay.
Thank you.
We know where you're talking, Jeffrey. We know where you're talking. The amount of pipe where the amount of pipe where there, Jeffrey. As some Benz blue truck down there, Jeffrey.
Blessed God.
Some Benz blue truck where it come for give the people them free water and them left them there till them rat down and then give you where them want to give it. And the country money.
Yes. I gotta run, my friend. I have my guest coming on the line here now.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
Good evening. I have with me businessman Mr. Dwight Moore out of Kingston, Jamaica. Mr. Moore, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Sir Jeffrey. Welcome to this opportunity to speak to yourself and your great diaspora listenership.
Yes. I have also with me my good friend, a person who is outspoken just like me, Mr. Mark Cameron. Sir Mark, welcome to the program, sir.
Good to be here. How you doing?
Good. I can't see your face, man. The young girls can't see your face. Yes, much better there now.
Yeah, man.
Sir Mark of the JC Mafia.
Really? Okay. Well, we've always been fighting, for the truth and against injustice for a while. So if that makes me a mafia, well then so be it.
Honorable mafia. Honorable.
Well, I don't know why Mr. Moore will come on my program and say that you're a mafia. Anyway, let's not go down to that road.
Good guy. All for Jamaica. Good guy.
Let me ask you this question, Sir Mark. I'm going to start with you first. Mark, do you believe that the government is distributing the supplies to the Jamaican people fairly or quickly?
It's hard to say because a disaster of this magnitude requires, for you to get an objective opinion on that, you'd have to have people on the ground in all areas where the distribution takes place. So it would be unfair to say that without that kind of information. But what I can tell you is that the poor MPs, it's really out of their league. They're not prepared for this kind of devastation.
Mm-hmm.
And the entities we had in place failed miserably. They failed. People are collecting a salary for many years. You would think they'd be more prepared to handle a storm of this size. And it doesn't really matter.
So what are you saying? You're saying that the disaster preparedness area failed. You're saying that local government is failing the people.
Well, the thing is, they were not prepared. And you cannot really look on local government because this is central government kind of business, okay?
Yes.
Central government are they're the ones who can actually allocate the resources for the different communities, and by extension to the local government. No, they were not prepared, and there was no strategy. There was I didn't see the cohesive behavior that's necessary to be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
We actually needed a central location, central locations around the country to handle all of the aid coming in and then distributed from there. But there was no there was a logistics problem. I didn't say people were literally starving because there's nothing in place for a worst case scenario which we experienced.
In other words, and we're going to switch over to Mr. Moore pretty soon. In other words, what you're saying, if it wasn't for the entertainers and civil society and people on social media who are bloggers like us who decide to go out and help the people, the government didn't really assist the people in a way then?
The people of Jamaica stepped up.
Yes.
They stepped up. The people of, and let me say this to you, and it might upset a few people, but if left alone, Jamaicans can take care of themselves. Government becomes a middleman, a middleman in the process of getting things done efficiently, because it goes through so many loops, so many elements, so many steps before things can be done. Where if I see a tree, like I was out after the hurricane, and I was with my chainsaw, and I saw a tree that's blocking my space. I cut up the tree, and a few people were able to drive by. The government doesn't have that kind of flexibility. There are too many layers involved in getting things done. Too much red tape and too many layers and too much consideration, sometimes political.
Yes.
Because if the right person who has a tractor is of the wrong color, he may not be moving debris in a timely manner because the person that they want is probably not available, which is one of the reasons why I've been pushing for electoral reform,
yes.
Constitutional reform that deals with Jamaica for Jamaicans. I mean, it's not this GLP, PMP foolishness.
Hold on for me, Mr. Mark. Some more. Come on in. As a businessman in Kingston, sir.
Yes, sir.
You think that the government is doing it? What do you think about the government helping the people? Because even now, you have some people who are marooned. They can't go anywhere. Zelika just in St. Elizabeth decided to take it on herself to assist because her people don't have any road. The road cut off and some people have no food. And she decided to do it and the government told her no. Your take on what is going on with the distribution of stuff in this country, sir?
Well, I tell you, again, it's always educational to listen to other person's perspective. Now, my good friend Mark said, information from the ground is going to really keep you current with actually what's happening on a day-to-day basis. I think initially the assessment process and the devastation process took some time to appreciate the scale. And with an event like this that happens every 50 years, in this instance, it's referred to 50 years, but in fact, it's 37 years. An event like this, how does one prepare for this? And what kind of experience, even when one goes to the books to sort of anticipate the possibilities. This particular storm, as you've tracked a lot of things, and I learn a lot from you myself. And what you would have known is that this storm was coming to Jamaica for somewhere in the region of 4 or 5 days prior to its actual arrival. That would have affected the ability to anticipate the logistics and where this may land and how much devastation and to where. As a result of that, several false attempts were made to anticipate and to prepare for what could have happened based on the path that will constantly change. Having landed here in Jamaica, the process of assessment was a critical one, and maybe the scope was, I put a lot of people into shock, if I could put it that way, because even now, as you know, electricity, communication, thank God to the Starlink community, we're able to reach into places like police stations and other areas which are usually used centrally for communication, assessment of what's happening on the ground. That was impaired, damaged, and is still in a phase of being restored. So in fact, what I'm really saying to you with my long-winded approach is that it was difficult to make an assessment. It was difficult to have our technocrats prepared for this. And just like most most nations would have a reserve team, it is when the crisis takes place that the existing team may not be able to grasp or to respond timely, that the reserves come out. And the reserves have come from all over the world. Myself has volunteered in different capacities, and a lot of other people have actively got involved. And so, yes.
Mr. Moore, hold on for me, sir.
Sure.
You're saying that they're not prepared.
I'm saying the scope of what hit us has never been seen before.
Right.
And so preparation could only be in theory.
Right. I understood that. Yes. Understand that.
Yes.
But Jamaica is in an earthquake zone and a hurricane zone.
Mm-hmm.
One will think that the government of the day and the government of yesterday would have built some hurricane shelters, hurricane-proof shelters in a sense, for its people. Now, one may argue that they can't do that because there's nothing like that. But the fact of the matter is, one will think that they have, will have done something like that because none of the schools in our country, they're not hurricane proof.
Can I say something to you?
None of the schools in our country, none of the churches in our country cannot stand up to a category 4, much like a category 5.
Can I say something to you? As I said to you, the planning for an event like what just took place, which has not happened in our hemisphere before, it's what the technocrats and the engineers call a 1 in 50 years event.
I agree with you, sir. But
category 5. Category 5.
Hold on for me, Mr. Moore.
Sure, my friend.
Sir, is this? Yes, we can't anticipate a category 5, but one will think and one will have hoped that whether the PNP power, the JLP power, they have put things in place like a hurricane, maybe a hurricane-proof building to put our people in evacuate from that area to go to the area. How on earth?
I want to say something. I agree with the you say we are here as mature people having varying experiences that hindsight is truly 2020, and this 1 in 50 year event that has hit our west part of the island almost exclusively. In fact, a half of the island, I'm told, it's 7 parishes, and it's hard to anticipate. But what I can say to you is that coming out of this experience, we will all have been better armed and educated with even the trauma that our people are going through right now, because the devastation is so unheralded that people are traumatized. I spoke to a gentleman in St. Elizabeth who told me of the amount of Shincooks that are coming into his area of St. Elizabeth based on what looks like a war zone. Everything is bare, everything is sparse, everything is destroyed. We're going to be better in the future. But at this time, I would say to you that I appreciate the work you do. I appreciate the angles you come from. And sometimes we may not agree, But more importantly, I think it's important that we now understand that we have to be appreciative of the global outreach to Jamaica, and that I'm sure in a matter of 2 days, anybody that is technically so-called marooned will have been made contact with anywhere and
Hold on,
everywhere.
Mr. Moore. I want to ask Sir Martin this question.
Sure.
It's nearly 2 weeks now. We have helicopters. We have 16 helicopters from the JDF. We have how many helicopters from the American government? And you're saying to me, it's taking them so long to get to our people who are marooned?
Well, the truth of the matter, I can't speak currently to who is marooned. I'm hearing stories, but I have no evidence of
Well,
that
I have
personally.
evidence for it. I have proof.
But I want to say something to you, my friend, and I believe you. I want to go further to say that Jamaica doesn't have 16 helicopters, by the way. Jamaica has about 6 or 7 helicopters.
No.
That was verified to me by JDF officers within the last couple of days. And then we have the volunteers of the Americans that have come on board, and any other private citizen that is coming. But I'm saying to you, we are making significant progress. And while we have to appeal, I'm sorry?
Progress in what way?
Progress with our distribution, progress with organization, progress with outreaching, progress with using, we're using drones, we're preparing to use drones to reach places that are still isolated, or the cost of helicopters. I'm sorry?
Are you speaking on behalf of the Jamaican government?
No, I don't speak for the Jamaican government. I speak for my knowledge based on as a private citizen who is involved in assisting the process through my network of international associates who are volunteering. And I'm not a government official at all, to be honest with you. I have been asked that because of my passion for Jamaica, but I am non-partisan, very involved in everything in Jamaica, and we've been associated with both parties through my family members and otherwise.
Yes,
so it's strictly about Jamaica.
Just like the Tavares family, who some people believe that I shouldn't be speaking against the Jamaica Labour Party. Let me make something clear.
But I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're not, sir. I'm sure you're speaking for Jamaica.
Thank you. And let me ask Mark Cameron this question here. So, Mark, Jamaicans are sleeping out in the element of this of the night dew and mosquitoes and all sorts of mosquitoes. One would have think that the Prime Minister who said that this country is a disaster area, one would have think that the Prime Minister have commandeered a hotel or say we're going to open up the national arena for the people. Why is it that the Prime Minister now, sir? You think, in your opinion, because I know you're not speaking on behalf of the government, speaking on behalf of yourself. In your opinion, why you think that the PM just let the people out there in element of the sun, element of the moon, element of the sun, and he's cozy in his bed?
Well, you have to understand the role of the Prime Minister, and you have to understand the role of government. Most of the people who go into government are not experts at a lot of things. One might be a teacher, one might be a lawyer. What do they know about? Right.
One may have about 2 taxis on the road. Go ahead.
Right. What will they know about how to prepare for disaster? That is why we have an entity that has been paid well for the last umpteen years to deal with these types of disasters.
Mm-hmm.
The role of the Prime Minister is to bring all those elements together to ensure that the relief is smooth and without any issue. Now, Mr. Moore, my friend, said that
your brother.
Yes, that we're doing well. Now, and he also said that nobody could prepare for a Category 5. A hurricane has a mind of its own. The hurricane is not going to broadcast to you how him a come. Him not going to say, boy, I'm going to come with a Cat 1 or a Cat 2 or a Cat 5. It's the responsibility of the government and those who are in charge of protecting the Jamaican people to ensure that from 1 to 5, we are safe. or 1 to 5 that there's some measures in place that's going to allow the swift accommodation for the people, food. These are things that are going to happen. And I believe that they should use all the community centers that they have around. You know, every community should have a community center, right? Where you have people can go there and learn computer skills or whatever. All of those.
Sir Mark, the center in St. Elizabeth. Some parts of Elizabeth, the community center gone, the roof gone from burial, and nothing has been done.
Yeah, but I understand that. But I went down there. And what I noticed is that most of the homes that were destroyed, because I'm in the building sector as well, okay? Most of the homes that were destroyed didn't have the hurricane straps. There weren't the plate, no plating, nothing was secure. So it's gonna come off.
Hold on. Good night, make we talk.
Hello?
Yes?
Yes, Jeffrey. Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm not taking any calls now, doing it, because I have two guests online.
Okay.
Can you call back as soon as I finish, please?
Yeah, I sorry, I did just want to say something so that they can hear. But anyway,
go ahead. 2 minutes.
No, all right. No, the thing about it is like the question that you asked both gentlemen, right? Is like you give them a book to read. They must read what is in the book. Don't try to skip out nothing. You know, I'm not here to offend nobody. I'm not here to judge anybody. But the question, that you ask them, is it the government running the country the way always supposed to run it, are treating the people that encounter with this type of disaster? That's the question. No, he's not treating the people good, and it is clear to see. You don't need glasses to see that.
Okay.
So that's the question. Just put it right there on the head. Thank you very much, Jeffrey.
You're welcome. Sir Mark, go ahead. You're talking to
well,
Mark.
Well, he speaks to the frustration of most Jamaicans who have not seen the level of participation by government in addressing their immediate concerns. Now, the international help has stepped up, and they've made things a little bit better for us. But let's put it this way, right? We are in, like you mentioned before, an earthquake zone. We're in a hurricane zone, and they were not prepared. They were not prepared, and that's the bottom line. The logistics were not in place. There was no central command to say, okay, if X amount of people bring in all of this, bring it here, sir. We could take it from here, so, and carry it to the people who are most affected. The helicopters can only do so much. Even the Chinooks, or whatever they call them, from the American government, right? Those can carry some material, but the first business of government is to ensure that the roads are usable. I've seen some roads though that it's going to take quite a bit of work and material to get those roads functioning where you can actually service the people. So the helicopters in those areas would work. But for the main thoroughfare, if certain people in St. Elizabeth didn't have connections with tractors and whatever, most of the roads wouldn't have been cleared because government had nothing in place to deal with that. I heard about a man named Slowly in St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
No, he got voted out, obviously, but he has connections in that kind of business. He builds things. He's a contractor, so he will have access to tractors and that kind of thing to help. The other MPs, that's not their skill set, and it doesn't mean that it has to be their skill set to be able to manage this type of crisis. They're there serving on behalf of the people. It's a bonus to have a skill set like a Mr. Slowly, who it just happened that he was in that in that realm, so to speak. But that's not the people that we elect. We expect that government, with the different entities that they have, that are protecting the Jamaican people to work as they were paid to do.
Well, let me ask this
And in my opinion, they fell short. It doesn't mean that they're not catching up, but they're catching up. People can learn on the job in a bridge. You can have a problem and, a man, they don't know what to do. And then they hear different things from different people and they say, okay, boy, that sound good. Make a run with that. The good news is that what I like about, there's one person in particular that from the government standpoint, that I thought did a good job. And he was decisive and he made decisions right away. And that is Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz, listen to me. No toll for the next, no toll. Next minute him talk about no duty and machine coming into to help. These are that's the kind of action I want to see government involved in.
Let me ask this question though. And I'll ask Dwight Moore this question because Dwight Moore family was involved in transport and so forth. Mr. Moore, come on in here for me now, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best.
Back in the days, you have the public works department in every parish in this country. One would have hope and one would think if the public works department was still in existence, there wouldn't be so much problem in waiting and getting tractovators to clear roads.
Agreed.
Can I say, my friend? Are you finished, sir? Asking a question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So modernization has moved a lot of things from central or local government to private contractors who might be able to better invest and upgrade equipment.
Who can name a food?
Who can name a food? Exactly.
Nyama food is one thing, but maintain equipment, maintain infrastructure, develop equipment, the investment that is needed. We have seen.
Nonsense.
We have not seen the amount of fire trucks that we need. We have not seen the amount of garbage trucks that we need. When it comes to updating, one second, we have seen what has happened with a GOS bus system. When the state controls certain resources, they are not usually well maintained. They're exposed to all sorts of things.
I could easily answer that question. The reason why the state, at the time that you're talking about, not dealing with the public sector work, is that they're political appointees. They're not. It's not based on merit. They're political appointees, and that is the dysfunction, which stems right back to the Constitution, how people are hired, and how things get done in our country. That needs to change. We've learned what hasn't worked. Now, you mentioned public works. I saw some public works road that were done 30, 40 years ago that are holding up much better than the new, more modern roads and modern equipment. We had people who dig out the rock stone to get trains to come through there. They did it with equipment that was old equipment. It can be done. It can be done if the people have the right attitude and the right protocols are in place to ensure that they do a good job. Nowadays, it's people who are a friend of a MP. They're the ones that get the jobs, and they're not qualified to do it.
Let me say this though. You know, I asked Mr. Moore a question, and Mr. Moore go down the whole of Negril and come back to St. Elizabeth and St. Thomas. If the Public Works Department, Mr. Moore, was in the 3 counties, Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey, with their tractors and so forth, maybe they would have gotten flooded out, we don't know. But if they were there would be wherein the roads are cleared properly. My thing is this. The whole Nema food mentality in this country. This is what is mashing up this country. Because if they had public works department where they could clear the roads coming to St. Elizabeth and wherever would have cleared a long time.
Yeah, but not only that, Jeff. Not only that, right? Hold on, just a quick second here.
Hold on, Mr. Cameron. Make say this. Make answer this. Hold on.
Let me say this to you, my friend. I have been I've been fortunate as a youth in this country. And I feel privileged as a result. to have access to a number of experiences. To the point, public works was a formidable force. And at some point, I don't remember which administration, but the governments over periods of time have moved away from that system. Now, what we're looking at, would they be able to do that today? The question is, would they be so mobilized with the skill sets, the talent? Could we attract them and keep them employed? Would we have equipment that is working to respond? But if we ask the question and say, the Public Works Department of 1974 or 1970, would they have been able to assist? Yes, what we had then. Would that be still what we have today in a case where we don't have enough garbage trucks, we don't have enough fire trucks, we are replenishing, they have to be maintained.
Mr. Moore,
Community demands expand. I'm saying that I'd have to answer the question with that kind of a caution, my friend. Go ahead.
Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Every single government that comes in, whether it's PNP or JLP, why is it that every time they come in to buy a new garbage truck, but yet they buy some old dilapidated school bus for our children? Every year, every time they come in, every fire they come in, they don't buy no new fire truck. They don't refurbish the fire engine, the fire stations. Very few times they do it. Yet we're building buildings in this country, and we don't have the fire apparatus in case of natural disaster happen.
Well, what is for sure, the building codes require sprinklers and all these other things. But let me go further. When it comes down to Jamaica, Jamaica has been on a growth path, probably not growing GDP-wise per year at the rate we need. But I would say we haven't had new taxes in a long time. And I'm going to say to you that when it comes to things like the school buses and some of the concerns you're raising, I'm suggesting that we're going to need to get some of the policymakers to address this, because I don't have that level of information while I try to keep informed.
I agree with you. Well, but don't come and tell me that we don't have any new taxes in this country for the last so many years.
Well, you know something, Jeff, let me say this to you, right? I think the government has misplaced priorities. It was a priority for them to give themselves a 300% raise. In my world, you serve the people first, and anything left you can get. We need people that are in government that are willing to serve. In my world, if you're serving the people, don't go in there looking at it as a job. If you want a job, get a job. It's two different things here, right? We need people that are there to serve the people of Jamaica and not serve themselves. If you notice, government always comes out on top. Their people get the very best. It's almost as if they've taken over from our colonial masters, where they believe that they get served first. And in my world, the people get served first. So when you talk about a raise that it's going to cost the Jamaican taxpayers over $2 billion a year, based on Mr. Santa Clark's Christmas giveaway, all right? And the people here are suffering because the roads are not being repaired. They talk about, the government talk about getting better people, attracting better people on board.
I'd like to make a contribution.
Why didn't he raise the salary after he got the better people? The people that are getting the raise now are people that have already been there and them not going away. So
can I add?
So who's the new people that they're attracting?
I want to interrupt, my friend, because to be honest with you, I appreciate everyone on this program. We know each other in our own capacities outside of the program. I don't want to be defending the government, because I think the government has to do that themselves. But what I want to say, I am familiar enough with some of these issues. And more important, I think that what we need to do with the audience at hand and the vast outreach that this program contains or reaches out to, we have to be very specific, very responsible as to what we do, and that we don't discourage people from participating in the relief program right now by getting too much into the political aspect of things, because the election is gone.
Hold on, Mr. Moore, hold on. No one here is campaigning for any political party.
My friend.
Hold on
Yes,
for me.
go ahead.
It
Go
is
ahead.
clear to see.
Mhm.
It is clear to see that it's normal Jamaicans, the entertainers, the Andre Stevensons,
Lots of people.
a lot of
Lots
people.
of people.
The
Lots of people.
Tavarises, the Henrys, the this, the that.
Mavado.
The Mavado.
There was a plane crash. There was a plane crash today in Florida. You see?
Yes, I'm
That
aware of that.
was a foreigner that was flying here to volunteer and bring medical supplies to Jamaica. So I mean, let's put it this way: we can salute the spirit of relief and support to the Melissa crisis, and we need to keep doing that while we tweak the administration of relief, and let us be sensitive, emotionally intelligent as to how we go about trashing and addressing what may very well be deserved, but at what point are we going to do this? Because we need to advocate and we need to be very responsible how we go about it.
All right,
Everybody's out there.
Let me ask you this question now. Hold
Sure.
on for me, Mark. Let me ask you this question now.
Sure.
Do you believe that there should be a level of accountability in the way how these things are distributed? And also, do you believe that there should be a level of accountability in the funds coming into the country? And
Absolutely.
hold on. And do you believe that civil society, there should be a board, civil society on the board, the opposition on the board, a member of the Jamaican diaspora on the board, and other people on the board? You believe that should be going on?
Let me say this to you. I would have to support all that you have said a while ago as the targets we should be working towards. I recently saw where Senator Duncan, who is part of the PSOJ, and Ambassador Marks leading up some team or some communication network to private sector. It's evolving. It's evolving. The truth of the matter, when you want talent, somebody's phone is ringing.
Where's the opposition?
I really don't know, but the truth of the matter, as Mark said earlier, members of parliament, and he didn't speak to any particular party, he didn't speak to either government or opposition. Members of parliament need to be on the ground, and I'm sure that the network and the hub of technocrats that are running the ODPEM, the military, and other people involved are in touch and able to reach these people, because as my good friend said, members of parliament are teachers, nurses, bus drivers that have evolved. They are not technocrats or specialists. They are people who represent the people, and we can see Dayton Campbell on the ground. We can see a number of them on the opposition side actively involved in their communities, and all around. We have seen Floyd Green doing his thing. He has put Black River and St. Elizabeth on the map, initially giving the impression that that was the only place to hit because of his extensive outreach and network. When in truth and in fact, Westmoreland was ravaged, and I'm hearing today now that Falmouth rivals Black River in terms of the damage. I have not been, because I'm in the background assisting with a number of other areas, losing sleep and being very anxious myself. Not even gone to the ground zero to go see what people say. Once you've seen it, you'll never forget it, right? It's that kind of a nightmare. But I want us to be very sensitive to the fact that the government and the technocrats are working 24 hours a day, sleepless, and the initiatives that Mr. Vaz has brought to the table are things that have been done before.
Hold on for me some more.
Sure.
I don't apologize to be cutting you like that, sir.
That's okay, my friend. Go right ahead.
You're saying that they're having sleepless night to assist the Jamaican people, sir.
That's correct.
Why is it? Hold on for me.
I'm speaking for myself as well.
And for yourself. Why is it that the government of Jamaica did not evacuate the people to the National Stadium, or the Prime Minister has declared Jamaica disaster area? In my honest opinion, and in my little knowledge, I'm yet to be corrected, the Prime Minister have the authority to call a hotel owner and say to the hotel owner, we need to commandeer your hotel to put these people in.
Can I
Why
tell you?
is
I have
hold
an
on,
answer
Mr.
to
Moore?
that. I have an
Hold on,
answer
Mr.
for you.
Moore. Hold on.
Sure,
Why
sure.
is it if the Prime Minister is so concerned and love the Jamaican people, sir? Why do we have our people in the element of the sky? Same
Can
way.
I tell you? We have seen this repeatedly. I've watched it repeatedly. People are not prepared to leave their community and their loved ones. They are not prepared to. And remember now, we are a community-based people. We are so happy. Hello? Are
Yes,
you
go
there,
ahead.
T?
I'm not taking any calls. Not taking any calls now. Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
I am assuring you, my friend, I am assuring you, and this is something I'll be proud of. I cannot speak for the Prime Minister. I cannot speak for him commanding a hotel. But what I can assure you, we have seen that buses have left potentially ravaged areas empty with just a bus driver. Okay, so therefore, the business of evacuating and the consuming of resources to evacuate people versus rescuing people who are not prepared to be evacuated probably is a strategic position. Now,
So you're saying to me, Mr. Moore, on
there
this
is
program tonight,
relocation. 1 second. There is relocation with a lot of tents and evacuation spots that are set up now, including tent hospitals and other central distribution points where people are now converging. But there is a long-term and a medium-term and a short-term plan being made to host people in various schools and in various community centers and other community centers where
hello,
it is. Yes.
the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland right now has no food, no water, no light, no security. And you're gonna tell me that they're putting people in schools?
I'm going to tell you that on Wednesday, let's have this meeting, this call again, because I'm telling you, things are happening rapidly. And the members of parliament, both the PNP and JLP, are working assiduously, especially Mr. Dayton Campbell, I know is working extremely hard. Jess and a number of others are working extremely hard on the PNP side to make sure that the thing on the ground is getting to their people. So whatever happened last week, you may be talking about last week news.
If Dayton Campbell, Selika Jess,
yes,
Isaac Buchanan didn't go in the parliament, Dayton Campbell cried in the parliament for his people. Nothing would have done. The Prime Minister refused. You know what it's true? Mark, take over for me. What is your views on what Mr. Moore just said? Because if I ever talk tonight, they're not going to like me.
No, I mean, you know, like I said, a lot of the deficiencies we see are based on sometimes a lack of empathy. They're not walking with the Jamaican people. They don't understand the plight of the Jamaican people. So while you're there in your cozy mansion or whatever, people can say anything they want to say. But you know, I went to Lacovia. I went to some homes where I saw some people, and they were crying out. They're like, "Where's our help? Where's the help that they should be receiving from the government?" You know. And I think, like I said before, we have misplaced priorities. I don't think successive governments have looked on the Jamaican people as their boss. You know, they are our boss. I mean, the government are our boss, and that it's flipped. It's flipped around. So the priority of the Jamaican people are not there. I think if we take the Constitution seriously and look how things are done, I think we'll get the Jamaican that we deserve. But at this point, there's no system in place, no proper protocols in place to ensure that the best people are leading our country. And that's the problem. You have a woman who just wants to go into, you know, to be a member of parliament. You know, it's a gig. It's a job. You know, it's a good job, okay? Great benefits. Most are going there, come out rich. We know that. So I don't think there's this need to serve. That's not prioritized in the way that they operate. You know, I'm not saying some of them are not passionate about what they're doing. I know a few of them that really do care, but you're up against a system that is fundamentally flawed, and that needs to change. And until it's changed, you talk about the eater food mentality that's there. if you take that out of the equation and you have people that are there to serve or serve in their professional capacity, we will get the Jamaica that we deserve. Up until this point, it's a hit and miss, you know. It's
Mark,
a hit and
I
miss.
want to say, Mark, I have always appreciated your perspective. I don't always agree, but you're brilliant at your experiences and some of the points you raise. But if we talk about who are the political representatives today, many of them, we have a younger crop of MPs right now. Many of them are under 50 years.
Mr. Moore, it seems that Andrew kicked him off the platform.
Well, guess
Mr.
what?
Moore?
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
When you have vote buying, okay, if you have the most resources to buy votes, it doesn't matter how qualified you are. So electoral reform is also a part of what the change that we're looking for, that will attract the people that are there to serve. If I have more money than you, right, and I'm running a campaign, and you're more qualified than me, guess who's going to win? I'm going to win, because I have more money to buy votes. And in our constitution, it clearly states that no one should benefit for voting for you.
But the people of our country is at fault too, sir. Because if
but lawmakers are to uphold the law. So
yes,
if the lawmaker buys vote or sell vote or whatever, then if lawmakers are lawbreakers, how does the system actually work? It's not going to work. Mm-hmm. So we need to follow the law. In our constitution today, it clearly outlines that no one should be coerced into voting for you or benefiting for voting for you. And it's not, I mean, it's almost like somebody rob a store and the police watch and do nothing about it. It's the same thing. If they buy and sell votes and the police ignore this lawless behavior, then what's going to happen? You're going to get people that are in power that don't have the means or the qualifications to take care of their people. Mm-hmm. So we have to start with the law. We have to obey the law.
Let me answer this question though. We have to obey the law, and Jamaica need serious constitutional reform. But let me answer this question though. We're speaking about, is the aid reaching the people of our country who needs it most? I spoke about the Public Works Department. And Sir Moore said that it's modern era now. To me, he's back.
Mr. Yes, Moore, welcome. Thank you. I was talking to myself for a while and talking to my friend Mark as well. So I really appreciate the effort on the program. Again, being mindful of the politically explosive partisan issues that are taking place in Jamaica today as to who is getting on how much and who is not getting enough of the relief supplies. I'd like for us to convene again, probably on Wednesday or Thursday, with probably an expert from ODPEM.
Can you get that person for me?
I can't guarantee that. I could certainly attempt it and to see just where it is. I'm more involved with people who are on the logistics side more than the administrative and operational side. So I don't know.
Isn't ADPEN in the office of the Prime Minister now?
Yes, sir. To my knowledge, I've heard that.
Everything, whatever doesn't work, goes to the PM's office.
That's how effective he is.
No, hold on there, buddy. I think you're going a little bit too far in that, because I don't think
he's ultimately responsible. He's ultimately responsible, and the resources and the logistics and the strategies and the permissions and the ultimate responsibility in a recently elected prime minister lands at his feet. And instead of him leaving it to somebody else who's going to take some sleep on the job, he doesn't sleep. He is taking a responsibility. He's been selected and voted recently within the last 2 months. It's his portfolio to ensure the discretion of what is to happen, who is to make it happen, and that he is on that job. I happen to have met the prime minister before, once or twice, and I can assure you, he is a man of his word. And while we have the political polarization,
hold on, man of which word? We talk about word, brethren.
Listen, one second. This is a program. 1 second. This is a hurricane program. Let us be careful of what we delve into and what we're trying to bring into the public space. I'm telling you from my experience. I'm speaking from my experience. Forgive me. I don't have your experience, and I will empathize with you when we speak off the air. I'm not going to partake. I'm not going to partake in lambasting Jamaica, our prime minister, or our opposition.
Hold on.
But you see, we have to hold on there. Hold on. We have to
hold on. Let me make something clear, Mr. Moore. There is nobody lambasting Jamaica or speaking.
I'm not suggesting. I'm saying I cannot participate.
No,
in other words, I'm telling you, the prime minister that I have met previously, not recently, but previously, is a man who keeps his word. And from that point of view, that is my experience. But I'm not here to put him on trial. 1 second. I don't want to entertain putting him on trial because of an experience I have. I want us to contain our conversation to hurricane matters and the hurricane relief process.
But we must know
your program reach worldwide, you know. And I know I've been getting calls from people all over the world who heard me on your program. And I want to know that we don't dissuade anybody who wants to contribute and who is lacking in belief that we have the capability to administer their resources and to recover from this hurricane disaster as a united country. And I've seen the PNP opposition people working assiduously on the ground. And I've seen the Jamaica Labour. We have seen Tom Finson Jr., that is Christian, and some others, Abka Fitzhenley, them gone down there. We have seen so many other people, past PNP representatives, Floyd Morris and others, them organizing and them gone down there. So this is a united effort.
All right.
We're calling people names that are both PNP and GLP because as we know them to be Jamaicans. But hear what? A pilot and his crew died today that are foreigners on a volunteer program. That's how deep this reaches, and we have to treasure that and harness that because the Jamaicans need it.
So what I wanted to say.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was that my friend Mr. Moore said, brother.
Yes,
he said that the prime minister is a man of his word. And I'm just going to say one thing to you, and I'm not going to get into it because it's not a political thing. Fixed election dates. I have nothing more to say. Now, I agree.
The last three elections.
I agree that the prime minister has the ability to learn on the job. He has the capacity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that they were prepared for this storm, whether it's a Cat 1 or Cat 5, that is not the case. And if it were not for the help of the regular Jamaicans who stepped up to clear the roads with their own tractors and their own means of assisting, we would be much further behind because there's no process, there are no protocols in place to deal with even the very smallest of disasters. Now, why is it that every time there's an issue with any arm of government, it automatically goes on to the prime minister's portfolio? NEPA, up until recently, was under the prime minister's portfolio. the NEPA should be an independent entity. So if the bauxite company degrades our environment, they pay a price. And nobody can, like today, I went down to Content, right? And because of bauxite mining, the entire area is flooded out. People are, we talk about maroon, people are marooned because of the bad practices of the bauxite companies throughout the years. And there's no oversight. There are many holes that are dangerously deep that have not been covered up when it's part of their part of what they're supposed to be doing. The people in Content right now are having a rough time. That road is completely impassable. You're talking about 25-foot water. I was there today. The water has gone so, I mean, you have 3 aquifers, right, that have actually bottlenecked in that area by the bauxite company, by the bauxite plant, and water has nowhere to go. Many years ago, they dug out, while digging for bauxite, they busted an aquifer, and the entire Poros was flooded out. So that aquifer doesn't exist anymore, or in a limited capacity, which is why the Poros River is now a seasonal river. Only when you get a heavy rainfall, you're gonna get water coming down there. It's seasonal. It's not a regular river anymore because there's no oversight on anything. And when it comes to the disasters that are to come, we have to put things in place to ensure that we're not searching and looking for what to do. Not, I mean, in a situation like this, we probably need outside help anyway. But we really have to take a hard look, and it has to be non-partisan. We have to, as far as the PM is concerned, I notice he's dealing with all the aid that comes in. No, that should be across the board. That shouldn't be under the PM alone.
And
The opposition should be involved, and other sectors of society. There has to be full transparency, because you know as well as I know that there is a level of mistrust in government, and it's not something that we fabricate. It's just the way it is, and we don't want that kind of mistrust. So when Mr. Moore, my brother Moore, talks about not giving a bad impression in terms of a person leery about trying to send us aid because they're concerned about corruption, that kind of thing. The way to get rid of those concerns is to have full transparency, where, like, for instance, when I was at the polling booth the other day, right, supporting a candidate, an independent candidate, I'm an onlooker to ensure that things go the way they're supposed to go. That's why we have poll workers, right? Now, on a larger scale, you're talking about the government. Where do we need more transparency than handling millions and millions of dollars?
You know something, Mr. Moore is saying that we shouldn't go down a certain road because we're not going to lambaste Jamaica and put, I remember one point when we were in New York standing up against the level of corruption in this country. They said that we're bringing down Jamaica's reputation and here in Jamaica's dirty laundry in the public. My question to them is this: don't Jamaica has Television Jamaica, CVM? Don't an arm of BBC is inside the Caribbean? So when we go on our platforms and speak about the level of nepotism and corruption in the country, why are they blaming us?
We're not blaming you, my brother. We're just saying, I'm just saying to you, and I cannot tell you how to run your program. You're a successful journalist. I'm not going to do that, my friend. I'm just wanting to make sure that I contain my own participation in what may not be the best look for Jamaica at this time, because I can tell you something. I am here to tell you that there are people who are busy advocating, don't give things through the official channels, go through. And even if there's a reason why, people will always have their personal reasons why. I'm just saying we have to protect the image of our institutions. Where it is that people are faulty or incompetent, let's address them. But let's not destroy the institution, because the institution is the foundation.
There's nothing in place to address them.
Hold on. Mr. Moore, address
You
what?
have to address them. We have built them before. We cannot destroy them.
Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on.
Yeah.
You are saying to me that we must address nepotism and cronyism and corruption in this country
on a personal basis when the evidence presents itself. We cannot destroy the institution.
Hold on for me.
Yes, sir.
The JUTC is corrupt.
Sir, we are dealing with hurricane relief. Tonight is hurricane relief, my brother. Look here, my friend, remember we know each other elsewhere. I am not. I am here because I respect that we are doing this for the greater good.
All right, no problem.
I'm not here to tug a war about any other issue, and I'm not going to lambast the people who are losing sleep like myself and others who are doing more than me, who are traumatized from going to that devastation zone. So let us suggest what we need to be doing. Let us not destroy who is working and let us not complain, but let us get busy. And let us not contribute to the chaos, my friend. But let us be constructive.
Hold on, gentlemen, hold on for me, Mark. I'm going to come in, Mark. Hold on a minute. Mr. Moore.
Yes, my brother.
Can you argue, or can you say that the level of debt in Jamaica is surpassed what the government is telling us?
Wow, my friend. I'm going to resort to Mark now. I'm going to use one of Mark's lines to say, my friend, we have to get some inside information to be able to say that. And what I can say, I cannot comment on that. I have no knowledge that would be responsible for me to even begin to speak on that topic, my friend. I really don't know, and I have no reason to know. In fact, I can tell you this. I'm shifting a little bit from hurricane matters now, just to use a matter that people don't trust government generally. So my good friend Mark said that, and you would probably say the same. The truth is that there are people and varying people with various agendas everywhere. What we must do is work on identifying those people with systems and not destroy the institutions that are in place to safeguard the peoples of Jamaica's interests. So that is my word where these things and speculative matters come up, and I can't have the knowledge to speak on it. I'd be destroying Jamaica and myself in one stroke.
I think what we need to do to prevent, there's a president or prime minister said, speak softly, but walk with a big stick. It speaks to a level of, it speaks to putting protocols in place that ensure that things work the way they're supposed to work. For instance, what would be better than to have the opposition and other qualified members of civil society be a part of the process, the accountability as relates to aid that comes into our country
and the funds.
And a lot of people talk about, that's precise what I'm talking about. A lot of people, respect is earned. Okay, yes. You can't go down the corner store and buy a pound of respect. People are not going to accuse you of something if there's no evidence of it. All right. Mm-hmm. Randy Williams, who some of us older folks might know, say, if I know so, I'm near so. Okay? So what the government needs to do to put the minds of people at ease is to put protocols in place that doesn't allow these kinds of questions to be asked. You don't want that, because a lot of people say, well, there's no proof of corruption. I've always said this. Corruption is like the wind. Nobody has seen the wind.
Give me a minute. Continue talking.
Nobody has seen the wind, but you can feel the effects of the wind. And we in Jamaica, there are persons who engage in corruption who are very skillful at ensuring that they're not caught. Okay, so let's put proper protocols in place so we can put all those concerns aside. I think that is what we need to do, and I think the PM needs to include the opposition and others into these areas of concerns, and we'll be one big happy family. Because at the end of the day,
Well, I'll tell you something.
It's Jamaica first. You know, it's Jamaica first. Go ahead, boss.
Won't be happening unless they themselves are in charge.
What's that? I didn't get that.
Most families won't be satisfied unless they themselves are in charge. So we don't know about the happy family, but what we know is that there should be transparency, proper accountability, and independent accountability. And I tell you something, let us all hold hands together as we deal with the biggest disaster that we know of in our region and hemisphere. I'm so happy to reach out and thank a lot of these international volunteers. I saw a group from Texas that are putting in the Starlink communication so that the police can speak. And that some police stations were isolated. We have a huge debt to a lot of international people who are sending in their people. Now we talk about transparency and accountability of money. I am not sure how much money has come, but I do know that pledges have been made, and I do know that resources have been sent, and those things are valued and are valuable, and people may be confusing some of those things for cash. Another thing I heard recently.
I agree with you.
Can you repeat for me, please? Another thing I heard recently was about the discussion about government lending generators. And if the government gets generators, it is for the people of Jamaica use, not a gift to the people of Jamaica for personal use. So if it is town centers, businesses, and for other future disasters that these equipment can be maintained, used, and recycled for, then clearly, if we have another disaster next year, people are not going to be sending us more generators when we got sufficient this time. They're going to be saying, hey, you have your generators, use them wisely. We gave them to the government, and the government must account for how they're used.
Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
are you aware that a container in Beryl went to St. Elizabeth, some generator in there, and they were sold to the people of St. Elizabeth?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
Well, I'm aware of that. Are you aware that a container came to Jamaica, was given to the Jamaican government about containers? Where are the generators now?
All right. So again, we're on the hurricane relief, and I understand some things that you have,
I am talking about hurricane
and that
relief.
you know that I can't
I am
speak to.
talking about hurricane relief.
I know, and I'm saying I can't speak to those things, but I certainly would not want us to dig deep into something that may actually offend or dissuade people from contributing. And I can tell you, we are learning, we are getting better. We are getting better and better at handling our affairs locally. And Mark did speak to that the Jamaican people can rise if given the opportunity. And so you will find a forum to expose those matters so that those matters can be addressed properly. But right now, I want to hear, as Mark just said, we want more independent people accounting or participating, while the MPs are really on the ground and may not be able to respond. In fact, a friend of mine said today, a serious comrade said to me, you know, we should have closed Parliament until this matter is properly vetted and understood in another 3 weeks. I said, but people would not support that. So yes, it's a good idea maybe because of a particular reason, but the people of the country wouldn't want that. Would the opposition want that? I don't think so. They want to hear the issues. Would we be addressing matters to do with SOE because of some of the looting that has gone on? It would be insensitive to lock down some of these communities based on the scale of devastation. So emotional intelligence has to be applied across the board. wherever it comes in contact, we're going to have to hold some things we know. There are a couple of things that I know that I've heard, and I don't want to take it that way because it's not for our best interest.
Mr. Moore,
It's not for the greater good.
Well, this is what I would have done.
Hold on for me, Mark. Let me say something to Mr. Moore. I'm going to have
Yes, sir.
meeting now. Let me say something to you, Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Burial just happened a year ago or 2 ago.
Yes,
right?
sir. Last year, July.
Yes, and the people of St. Elizabeth has not recovered from hurricane burial. For you to come and say to us that if generators come to Jamaica, it should be loaned to the people and given back to the government.
That's correct.
Then why, hold on there. You say that's correct?
So that another community, first businesses and essential services must get that energy, and then it can be shared as those services are restored. It goes on to the other vulnerable, the next level of vulnerable people.
So what happened to the generators that came in for burial?
Well, again, I tell you, to speculate when there are other forums and mediums to address these matters, I respect your concern, and I'm sure they are legitimate. That's not in question. The question is, at this time, at this early infancy, 2 weeks ago we had a hurricane, is that what we need to be addressing today on this forum versus the fact that people are busy contributing? A team of persons lost their lives today. I want to mourn those persons, the pilot and his family, who contributed greatly. Yes, sir.
Yes, people are contributing. But what we are saying, some of the Jamaican people, sir, still haven't gotten the aid they're supposed to get.
Well, I tell you, today, there was a testimonial today. And again, I have to be sensitive. There are persons who, by nature, human nature, have positioned themselves in a way through links, network, or opportunity, are hoarding supplies that were given to them on their claim that they needed relief. These are matters for investigation, but in the meantime, every single possible effort must be made to ensure that everybody everywhere is reached. The JDF is giving us updates as to where they are. They are using canoes, they are using drones, and they're using all manner of methodology to get to isolated people. And I am positive that while people would think that a helicopter can land anywhere, it really can't. And I am personally aware of some of the efforts that are being made, and I assure you, some of what we have heard are dopey stories designed to confuse, distort. And I heard some stories today that tells me that, boy, we are oversupplying some areas out of anxiety, out of just anxiety and desperation. And the human condition in these places are desperate, anxious, and it doesn't mean they're hungry, you know. It just means they don't know what is next. And I know that within the next couple of days, the government will formulate, because again, I'm working with logistics people. I'm not working with the government, so I can't speak for the government. But I do know that persons are working assiduously, and we will be proud of the efforts and how we have managed at this stage in another couple of days. So bear with us, hold on a little bit.
How long shall the people bear in the element of the sky?
How long, oh Lord? Let me tell you something. But how
the Lord will provide, man. The Lord will provide.
What I would have, hold on.
You're in the comfort of your bed at night, sir. Who's your never? There's Jamaican people out there in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, who are in the element of the sky. And you're telling me I must hold on?
You know something,
we don't have a choice, my brother. Efforts are being made and significant effort. So it's just a matter of patience. The human spirit is coming together. People are coming together. Plyboard, people are putting on roofs. People are doing all manner of things in communities right now.
It's being done by the government of Jamaica or by the entertainment and personal people.
It's being facilitated by the military. It's being facilitated by voluntary.
The question I'm asking you, Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Has the government of Jamaica gone down to St. Elizabeth with plyboard and those things?
Yes.
When was that?
That's happening on a daily basis. I saw a truckload of it last week that went to Black River, personally. And I can assure you, my friend, this is too dynamic for us to speculate on individual things like this. Let me tell you something, brother. People not sleeping. People are not sleeping. A friend of mine took down a group of foreigners last week, Sunday, the 2nd of November. It took him 9 hours to get to Black River based on the traffic. He said the traffic was 4-lane traffic. That organization is mobilizing millions of dollars to send through official channels. They're not sending personnel. They're not sending material. They're sending money to help with the rebuilding process. It's happening little by little, but you know it was destroyed in minutes and it takes years to rebuild. So we are going to be patient. We will have to be patient and we will have to be reserved about some of the horror stories that individuals have abused, and let us get to those individuals, but let us not poison the entire organization and the structure that has been built for decades and poisoned because of a few rotten eggs. Let's find those rotten eggs.
You know,
that is my contribution.
One of the things that I would have done differently, and you know, there's a benefit to have these kinds of discussions so that in the future, we don't have the same kind of issues again. What I would have done was to call all stakeholders, opposition, independents together and have a meeting of the minds to discuss how to move forward in this very critical time. That was not done, which is why I am for a non-partisan democracy. We don't need GLP and PMP. These are entities that have failed us. It doesn't work. We need a new constitution that takes into consideration the deficiencies of our present colonial system and to structure a new one that's going to benefit all Jamaicans. We should not be having these kind of conversations today where there's suspicions about the motives of government. We're too far from our independence, so-called independence, to be talking about things like this. So
what I have seen, you see, Mark, I saw something. I saw something recently.
Hold on.
Sure.
Let me welcome Jamaica's fearless leader, the man who hailed from Waterhouse, a son of the soil, Mr. Wilfred Samuel Rattigan, the program director and host of Reason Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan, welcome to the program, sir.
Testing, mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, Barry. Yes, Barry.
Waterhouse hearing you loud and clear, man.
You can hear me. Good. Outstanding. Pleasure to be here. Looking forward to a spirited discussion. How are you? How are you doing, my brethren?
Doing good, man.
I know you me talk.
Marky, you talking to you, know. I said
good,
go when you come out.
But good. We're there another struggle, you know. There another struggle.
All right. Mr. Rattigan, I have with me a businessman, Mr. Dwight Moore from Jamaica, on the line here with us.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rattigan.
We're talking about is the relief supply reaching the most vulnerable in our community in Jamaica because of this hurricane that ravished our country. Your take on that, sir?
When I say, well, supplies are certainly reaching some people, but there are other people who haven't seen anything. And the question is, when will they? And it goes back to proper planning. despite what we were told that the government had planned for the hurricane. And they said this on the global stage. Now we know that no, the planning was poor. And as a result of that, people are suffering. I spoke to a gentleman today who has done the trip twice to Hanover. And he said to me, watching it on video or on the news or whatever, he said it doesn't reflect the true state of affairs. You have to be on the ground to see it. He said it's bare, it's barren, it's like Gaza, it's like nothing you could ever imagine happening in Jamaica. And in fact, he's taken in some people to live with him. Some people who have been stranded without food, without water, without a home. So he's taking them to his home, and right now that's where they've found a refuge. And you hear things, you see the government saying, well, we're doing this and we're doing that. And they are. The government, but there's a flip side to the story. They're not showing you what's not being done. And therein lies a dilemma, because we're seeing people who should have gotten help a long time ago. This is like the second week, right?
Yes, second week of the hurricane.
Right. And so far they haven't, people are still marooned, people are without food, people are without electricity, people are without the bare essentials. And so you have them flying in and dropping off relief care packages, and you start thinking, well, instead of dropping off care packages, why don't they just evacuate the people? But I guess the idea there, time hasn't come yet, so the government hasn't really thought about that. So we can wait.
Let me answer this question, Mr. Rattigan, because you're aware of this cat bond that the government of Jamaica and Nigel Clark purchased for the country, and it comes onto the hurricane insurance. Talk to us some more about that.
All right. The cat bond, the idea of a cat bond did not start with Mr. Nigel Clark. It started, I think, back in 2010, a long time ago. They do have a Caribbean version of the cat bond that most people are referring to. And I think that has been paid out already, and it's about 70, 71, 72 million US dollars. But the one that people are focused on is the one that is arranged, facilitated through the World Bank. It's not issued by the World Bank. It's about 15 investors who have put their money up, and it's going through the World Bank, and the World Bank will collect the premiums. They've collected the premiums from Jamaica. I know that there's a payout. They collected the money from the investors, and then they're paying it out. Cost Jamaica $10.5 million US dollars a year to get $150 million worth of coverage. Now, as far as the history of that cat bond is concerned, people should know that the cat bond, Jamaica got a freebie, basically. Germany, Canada, USAID, and I believe there's one other, I think there's another country, that they financed the cat bond for Jamaica back in 2022, 2023. And at that time, the limit was 185 million. So they paid for the first 2 years, and they said to Jamaica, okay, from this point going forward, you're on your own. And so Jamaica paid the 10.5 million last year, the 10.5 million this year. So the idea that Nigel Clark came up with this idea and did this and did that, it's not true. It's not true. They should talk to the Germans. They should talk to I think it's the Germans, the Canadians, and the US. They should talk to those countries about the cat bond and how it was started in Jamaica. Now, it's true that Jamaica is the first country in the Caribbean to have a bond like that, but it wasn't something that Nigel created. This was something that was done with the assistance and the contributions of several countries. And they did it for 2 years. And after that, they said, you're on your own, Jamaica. Now, the interesting thing is this. We had a mathematician on our show, a noted mathematician, and he used the formula, the insurance formula, and he said, look, for 10.5 million US dollars, he said, first of all, let's give credit where credit is due. Nigel was instrumental in Jamaica getting involved in this. He wasn't solely responsible, but he was instrumental in getting Jamaica involved with this cat bond. But for $10.5 million, we should have gotten about, I think he said about 400 million US dollars worth of coverage. That's what we should have gotten, because he said for 150 million, we should have paid something like 3 or 4 million US dollars, not 10.5 million US dollars. And then, as I've said many times, and I'll continue to say it, I don't think it was a good deal, and I'll tell you why. Because they have certain requirements. There's one that they call cat in a grid, where Jamaica is divided into 19 grids. This is what the investors did. They said, okay, we're going to give 19 grids. And what happened, you must have a named storm in order to get any money. You must have a named storm, must be a Cat 5, must have a certain barometric pressure, must make landfall, so it must go through the grids. And each grid, the grids, they have certain values, barometric pressure, and I guess monetary value. And I said to people, look, if for this to happen, a Cat 5, anywhere in Jamaica, 150 million US dollars is going to be a drop in the bucket. Because now we're being told that the damage to the western part of Jamaica caused by Melissa is estimated to be somewhere between 3 and 6 billion US dollars.
That's
So now
2.5 million. That's 2.5 trillion Jamaican dollars.
Right. So we get 150 from them. That's a drop in the bucket. And that's why I kept telling people that, look, if Jamaica get hit by a category 5, 150 million won't be able to do anything. You won't even be able to fix one parish with that. Thankfully, it didn't go through the middle of the country, just hit the western part. And if you recall, last year with Beryl was a 4 and it skirted Jamaica. Still damaged Jamaica. What did we get out of that? Zero.
Nothing.
Got zero because it didn't satisfy the requirements. It was a name storm, but it wasn't a Cat 5, and it didn't make landfall. The eye didn't make landfall. So for all the people out there jumping up and down and proclaiming Nigel as the savior, you need to know your facts. Not saying that he wasn't involved in it, but all I'm saying is that it wasn't as great a deal as people thought, because $150 million worth of coverage, we should have spent about 4 million. We spent 10.5. Oh, and by the way, you only get that one time, so if Jamaica should get hit twice in 1 year, you only can collect that one time. It's not every time it happens you get the money. It's one time.
So you're saying to me,
it doesn't cover earthquakes.
So you're saying to me, no, Mr. Rattigan, I'm gonna have the two gentlemen come on into ask the questions or whatever. But you're saying to me, Mr. Rattigan, that if there should be another disaster, let's say an earthquake happen now, God forbid, we're getting no money from them again.
Cat bond doesn't cover this cat bond, the one that's facilitated through the World Bank, doesn't cover earthquakes.
So if another hurricane should come, dog nyam will suffer.
Yeah, because it's only 150 per season, 150 million per season. It's not $150 million per event. It's maximum of 150 per season. So the hurricane season hasn't ended. It doesn't end until November 31st. God forbid there should be another hurricane. I wouldn't wish it on Jamaica, but just for the purpose of this conversation, another one should come along. They can't put in another claim because it only goes up to 150.
Some more?
Yes, sir. Appreciate the information. Clearly, insurance companies hold the blade and the handle. You're just there to witness whatever takes place. They determine whether they handle a claim or what your rates are, what your fees are. And fortunately for us, we're at the end of the season. The possibilities technically still exist, but there's nothing to suggest that this is likely to happen. The event today, this last 2 weeks is what they call a 1 in 50 type of an incident. And unfortunately it happened, but let's hope we don't have a repeat anytime soon. let's just again, Mr. Rattigan is a man who is heavily known in the diaspora, and I hope that he is praying for Jamaica. And I don't know if he has been to Jamaica since the hurricane yet, and if he's busy mobilizing resources through.
What we did, we didn't land. We flew over, but we didn't land.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're hoping that energies can be brought to bear, and you guys have serious, loyal supporters globally. Your names are well internationally known, and your goodwill, no doubt, will play a part in our recovery. And so we hope that you can streamline through, Food for the Poor or any other agency that is charitable, of which there are many NGOs that are busy helping. I'm told that the U.S. government pledged more aid today, goods, aircraft, technical people.
Yes,
and so things are coming along, gentlemen. And at this time, the family really needs you guys, needs all of us on board. Myself, whatever it is I can contribute. In fact, I'm going to a function.
That is why, Mr. Moore, they need us on board. And that is why I think we need to say also to people in the effluent of society is to say that they need to put members of the Jamaican diaspora on boards when it comes on to the relief effort in this country.
Agreed.
Can I tell you? I am drafting persons right now who have been trained by FEMA and who are in the U.S. military. In fact, the helicopter Chinook today that flew into Jamaica recently is flown by a Kingston College former Manning Cup captain. So our Jamaicans, although he's flying for the Americans, I'm just saying we are reaching people. And I'm just saying to you, I appreciate your point. I'm not that close to the administration and the activities and the processes that they're using now at ODPEM and now at OPM. However, I'm confident that a lot of my associates in the GADF and elsewhere are deeply involved in the logistics. They're on the ground coordinating shipments coming in. A flow teller is being promised and being looked into now so that ships coming in can dock, drop off, and move. A lot of innovations are taking place. The manpower is needed.
You know something, Mr. Moore? When we flew over Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth,
right,
another part of the parish,
yes,
and we looked down, it's as if an atomic bomb dropped in Jamaica.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yes, and let me make this clear to you. The One Legal Jamaica Defense Foundation, headed by a group of us, we are right now packing a container to take down.
Yes.
And we are going to go to the areas and distribute it ourselves. And hopefully
that is fine.
Hopefully we have some
That is fine. That is fine, my friend. And what I want to beg you to do, ensure that the intelligence of what you're doing is sound, because a lot of people are stockpiling and hoarding due to the uncertainty of their future. So don't believe that people who are saying they not get nothing yet. Many are getting.
When they have a house to put it in?
They're hoarding. People have houses. People have places. People are hoarding. People are in vehicles, storing in vehicles. People are doing a number of things.
Mr. Moore, are you seeing what I am seeing and what I'm hearing?
I'm not hearing all that you're hearing, but I certainly am aware of enough incidents and enough desperation that exists in various communities, and that some people are doing a lot better than others, and there's a general widespread desperation, but a few smart Jamaicans in these communities are taking advantage of what they can. So I'm just saying, be mindful. I am not discouraging you. I'm only saying be assured of how you're going, and tremendous outpouring taking place every day. Aircraft by aircraft, ships by ships, containers by containers. international stars, not Jamaicans, are helping out. There's a footballer recently in France. I think his name is Mbappe or something to that effect. He contributed millions of dollars or euro to our cause in probably cash.
And where that money went to?
Well, as you said, as my good friend here, Mr. Rattigan, said, the insurance monies are dropping the bucket. So that only confirms the fact that
Mr. Moore,
we are not going to be able to rebuild sufficiently with what we have. We're going to certainly need the benevolence of Mr. Rattigan and yourself and others to dip into your checkbooks and give generously.
Although praise is due, me feel say more I praise him into submission, Man, I use prayer for.
Well, it's about time, Let me tell you something. We are Jamaicans, and let me tell you, we can't make no green or orange separate us when we sit down under our ackee tree and run a boat. And we need to go run a boat, because I tell you something. We have to go fight. Are you going to cook with your sauce, Mark? I wait on the box like your sauce.
Yeah, okay.
So, I just make you know.
Well, let me say this to you. All of what you said exists. Aid is going into some people, and some people are hoarding. This is just a part of the Jamaican experience, okay? Some people will play by the rules, and some people will double dip. However,
yes, sir.
However, we have to have a process in place that ensures that everyone gets what they're supposed to get. And that is a government initiative. It's not something that, well, it has been done by private sector, but you have more reach with government. They have more resources. They can garner all the support from our outside friends. So it's important that, like I said, in talking about transparency, where the money is going, all that kind of stuff, the Prime Minister and the government needs to get everybody involved, the private sector, the opposition, and have a sit down.
And the diaspora.
Yes, that especially the diaspora.
The diaspora is active
the ones right now. The diaspora, the ones who have actually.
Hold on for me. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
The diaspora is acting, giving money.
Can I tell you where I'm going right now? I'm going to a function right now where a group of my associates
of the
are
people
going to be.
On the phone for me.
A group of my associates. a group of my associates are putting together a significant amount of funds to give to the AFJ, of which the AFJ, American Friends of Jamaica, including diaspora, are going to match those funds. And we're doing that within the next half an hour, that presentation.
Well, last week.
We're active till we don't have no sense.
Last week.
And that's a whole heap of people.
Last week. Last week, we had a function at under the almond tree, where I cooked a whole bunch of dinners and whatever for people. The items were sold, but I didn't collect any money. Everything went to the gentleman who ran it. And
right.
the next day, Dukuno was involved as well. Dukuno got involved, the restaurant here in Miami.
Yeah.
They contributed. So the diaspora is should be an integral part of that, part of how
of course
we distribute.
Let me ask Wilfred Rattigan this question. Mr. Rattigan, you have been on your program, so am I, speaking about the Jamaican diaspora. It seems as if the only time this government knows the Jamaican diaspora is when something is drastically happening in our country and they want some money. You believe, Mr. Rattigan, that in this effort that's going on now, a member of the Jamaican diaspora should sit on the board, or two members should sit on the board, sir?
Well, it shouldn't be because of the event that we have people sit on the board. It's just the right thing to do, and it's something that should have been done a long time ago. In fact, it was promised. In fact, more than that was promised. This Prime Minister promised back in 2016, 2015, that he wanted a member of the diaspora to sit in the Senate. and also in 2016, I heard him say this, that they were planning an initiative so that Jamaicans could vote from overseas, and those things have fallen by the wayside. So it's high time now
I
that we
think
get.
those things are part of the constitutional reform that have been tabled. But
No,
again,
no, Mr. Moore. It's not a part of it.
No,
I've been told that a number of initiatives that were on the table were there for discussion
I
and
am telling
agreement.
you, Mr. Moore. It is not a part of it, sir.
Mr. Moore,
I won't dispute.
Okay,
Well, I was part of that conversation. I went into Jamaica House. I made a presentation on behalf of our group. I went to 4 town hall meetings, which Chris Malcolm was the moderator. And there's nothing.
Dr. Chris Malcolm.
Right. There's nothing
Principal.
about about diaspora being involved. Nothing about that. So they will say things that are politically expedient for them to say. But in reality, I think they look on us as a stepchild. They look on us. I look on people in diaspora as living in another parish. That's how I look on it. Because a lot of Jamaicans who went overseas didn't go because they want to. There weren't any opportunities in Jamaica. So they migrated to get a better opportunity. So it's not like they're less Jamaican or whatever. They have stepped up today as we speak. A lady called me. I was looking back on her message, and she said, "Oh, and I do have Zelle." So I called her and said, "Hey, what are you talking about Zelle? What arrangement did we have?" She said, "Oh, that's a message I left you last week." I said, "No, I don't collect money here." I said, "I recommended that you send to AFJ and Food for the Poor. That's what I recommended."
There you go. AFJ is who we're meeting with. Karen Chung is in Jamaica now.
Right.
She'll be collecting some money from us within the next half an hour.
I have dealt with
that money.
I've dealt with her on many occasions. I've actually donated paintings to her to FJ
for auctioning.
So yeah, great organization.
I've seen it.
So what we need to do though, on a serious note, okay, we need to follow through on things that are going to improve the way that things are done in Jamaica. And one of the things that we're concerned about collectively is in the area of transparency and how things get done, where things are colorblind, where things are done in a non-partisan way. I heard a conversation with 2 political people, and they said, "Boy, I get something, but say, oh boy, I go get all right for him, friend them." That shouldn't happen, guys. Come on, man. In this day and age, we're all Jamaicans, and we have to move beyond that, which is why I'm saying to you now that all the ills that affect us will be addressed if we deal with constitutional reform. And then again, another person said to me, if he had Mark, he said, you can have the best constitution of the world if the lawmakers do not follow through on what is on the books. It makes no difference. So there has to be accountability and transparency with consequences. Because you can say, boy, I'm sorry, and then nothing happens to you, and you do it next week. So there has to be a process in a constitution where if the person is underperforming or doesn't follow through on what they promised, that they should be removed because you got our votes on a false pretense. So these are things that we need to talk about based on the history of our democracy, what has worked and what has not worked.
Well, I'd like to use this opportunity to agree with you in principle, and remember what my philosophy has been that I've been touting is, listen, we build foundations, we build institutions, we place people in them, and if the people aren't fit, then let them quit. Because at the end of the day, we must support.
Removed.
And that's what I mean. Remove is the same thing. I'm just trying to rhyme. Trying to do like what you guys do.
Mr.
Quit
Moore.
and remit and all of those kind of things.
Mr. Moore,
But yes, sir.
I know you have to run to go donate the $10 million to the effort. So
that's right.
Let me see. You know, 10 million. Rocky, go ahead.
Yeah, but Mr. Moore, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
are you familiar with a group called the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council?
can't specifically identify that name, but I am aware that there are several organizations representing Jamaicans abroad and their interest. Can you highlight the significance of that particular one?
Yes, I can. That
Okay.
is the one diaspora organization that has government involvement.
That's government.
Yes, that's the one that the government helped to create. And
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the government is leading, and that's the one that the government is directing, and that's the one that the government is influencing. And so it would come across to me as rather strange that we hear all of these things going on about diaspora assistance, but we don't hear anything from this one organization. This organization has a policy, and it has terms of reference drafted primarily by the government of Jamaica. So I'm just curious as why is it that people haven't heard anything from them in terms of contributions to what's going on in Jamaica?
Well, again, I don't like to speak out of turn, Chief, and I know these are areas as a media host, and you are in the diaspora, but I would want to sit in hearing it. I think we are drowned and bombarded with the distress of what happened in 7 parishes on our Western Island. And just to say that our diaspora must be important to us if we look forward to their remittances and consider it part of our GDP. So
let me switch gears on you, Mr.
I don't want us to overshadow the importance.
No, it would be unfair for me to pursue a line of questioning on that organization because, as you said, you're not familiar with it. You're familiar with a host of organizations, but not necessarily this one. But let me switch gears.
No, not necessarily that particular one.
Well, we won't discuss that. Let me ask you something that I think you know about. You know about OPDEM, though, the Office of ODPEM, Office of Disaster Preparedness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. See it. Follow me. All right. That organization has been around. It was around definitely last year after burial, before burial, after burial, and we didn't hear much about it being disorganized or being inefficient. And then suddenly we are hearing now that the government has changed the leadership because they said that there are some issues right in the midst of military. We're hearing that they're the recipients of the assistance coming into Jamaica. And then the Prime Minister made an announcement saying that he's moving it into his office. Do you have any idea why that is? Does that concern you that we have assistance coming in to this organization its primary responsibility is exactly what's going on now, before and during and after, because it says what is it, OPDEM, Office of Disaster Preparedness, something like that.
Yes.
And so the first thing is to be prepared. First thing is to be prepared, and then you manage the disaster after. And then all of a sudden, the Prime Minister came out last week in Parliament and said, well, he's going to immediately move that office within his office, and that they were making changes to the organizational structure, personnel in charge of that agency. I'm sure you've heard about that, correct?
I've heard about it, yes.
Yeah. What are your views on that? Just share them with us.
Well, my views are that from a technical assessment and the scale of the damage, the rotation of personnel as to where they may be most effective based on the scope of work going forward, those resources and resource people have to be matched. Ultimately, so there may be some reassignment that has taken place or reassessment with bringing in more people into the situation to make that difference. But I'd like to go further to say that. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I'd like to go further to say that Yeah, man. I'd like to go further to say that ultimately,
Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore? It seems that Mr. Hollis kicked him out.
and must deliver on their mandate to the people, which is to resolve these issues in the most effective, efficient, and transparent manner. So therefore, the Prime Minister,
Mr. Moore,
Well,
you're
on,
going in and out. Mr. Moore, you're going in and out.
instead of having to work through
Mr. Moore?
another
Mr. Moore, let me just can you hear me,
stabilize.
Mr. Moore?
I can hear
me?
everybody. I'm dry. Yes, I can.
Yeah, hold on one quick sec. Just one quick point, and then I'll leave you alone, sir. You mentioned that
Sure.
based on the size and the scope of the damage, you have to match people with the responsibilities and all of that stuff. No.
Yes, sir.
Don't you find it kind of
That's
strange?
my little interpretation. That's my personal interpretation.
And actually, the prime minister alluded to that. Just so you know, he alluded to that.
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear the Prime Minister speak.
Yeah, I heard him. And
Okay.
what I found kind of interesting is that if you're going to match somebody with the responsibility, then how the hell did you get a medical doctor to be in charge of national security? How did you get a management advertisement?
No. We are talking about technocrats. Elected officials are different than the operational technocrats. So the operational technocrats, my brother, I know you're a bright man. I know you are. I've known about you for a long time. Just never interfaced with you. I'm telling you that the politicians, as Mark said before, are made up of teachers, bus drivers, comedians, and a whole host of other people. Those are politicians. I made a choice. I've made a choice. My choice is to serve where I am serving, and I am not in any mix-up over anybody's resources, and nobody can really call my name because I'm independent of all of that. So that's a different story.
So a permanent secretary would be a technocrat then?
A permanent secretary is a technocrat who is qualified, and maybe not so much as a technocrat, but an administrator. They're not scientists, they're not medical doctors necessarily, but they're administrators in operating the ministry. But in the instance of ODPEM is a different technical organization involving people who have experience in disaster management.
So hold on,
and so on.
All right. All right. I'll stick with your argument then. Forget about the parliamentarians. Forget about the permanent secretaries. You mean to tell me that they found out that these technocrats weren't qualified after the hurricane?
I can't speak to that. What I'm saying is they have matched the scope of work and the size of the disaster. It means that what they have done, they have brought in somebody from JDF because JDF is going to be on the ground on the scale that has never been before. This is a Hiroshima Nagasaki type effect. Helicopters, chin hooks are flying in every day. It's a whole different logistics than just some rainfall. It's a different size and scale disaster.
Hold on. All right, so let me ask you this.
The ODPEM team is still in place, They have just changed some places.
No, hold on a second. He moved one person to OPM. He moved one person, I think.
And that person is going to be a liaison with ODPEM to OPM. So therefore, your skill sets are better matched. Maybe this is my idea, of course. This is Dwight Moore speaking. I don't speak for the government. I've not spoken to the Prime Minister or anybody related to this matter. I'm working with logistics people on the ground who are coordinating incoming flights and other resources for the whole Melissa thing. I'm helping there. That's where I'm helping, volunteering. So you put me on the spot. I'm confident, and so I'm running off my mouth, and maybe I'll have to swallow everything I just said tomorrow when I learn the truth. So don't put me on the spot. I beg you, give me a chance. Spare me.
Yeah, man.
Spare me. Don't shoot me.
Well, I know. Let me see if I can make you follow some of the things that you say. Last week, the Prime Minister effective immediately. The changes are made. People, like you said, the skill sets match what I'm supposed to do, and we have a JDF guy, blah, blah, blah. From last week to this week, can you tell me if the situation has improved?
Well, what I can tell you, my brother, I had people who went up to yesterday into the country parts, all the way into various parts of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, and they're reporting improved security conditions, improved distribution of care packages,
Mr. Moore, Mr. Moore,
roadways being cleared.
I have to stop you there, sir. I have to stop you there, sir. Mr. Moore,
Yes,
that's
sir.
not true. That is not
I'm
true.
telling you what I was told today. I have not gone.
You're lying.
No. What Mr.
No, my
Tavares is
friend.
saying, Mr. Moore.
I'm not lying, my brother. I have not
No.
gone.
Mr.
I'm not
Moore.
saying
No,
you're
Mr.
lying.
I
Moore.
can
No, I'm not saying
call
you're
the
lying.
people. I can
Mr.
call
Moore.
the people
No,
who
Mr. Moore.
Moore.
spoke
Mr.
to
Moore.
me and put them on your program, my friend.
No.
Moore.
Mr. Moore. No, Mr. Moore. What Mr. Tavares is saying is not saying you are lying. You're only reporting what was told to you.
That is correct.
He's-
That is correct.
Right. And he's saying what was told to you is not entirely true. That's what he's
People
saying.
were in my office today reporting to me, Chief. So I have to accept people I know for decades, people who I actually warned not to go because of any security concerns. They showed me the pictures of their convoy, a 10-car convoy, and they were very successful and welcomed warmly by the citizens. Some people were really desperate and begging, some were heart-rendering, but they were able to conduct themselves safely in these communities.
Mr. Moore, Mr.
Yes,
Moore,
sir. Yes, sir.
people who came to you and give you the reports, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I am saying this to you tonight on this program.
Yes, sir.
They are pathologically mendacious. Not no go, sir.
Well, my brother, you notice the mood I'm in here. I am seeking to be as balanced, as direct, as polite, and fully sincere as I'm humanly possible. No need to misrepresent. I'm not held by duress.
I am not saying
And
Mr.
my sources are people I know extremely well, and it was voluntary that they spoke to me. There's no political agenda.
Well, this
I'm
program is a
I'm giving
political
it to
agenda,
you.
Mr. Moore.
No, I'm just telling you what is the story, my friend. So again, I didn't tell you that they went all over to every community, even those that are probably still unreachable. But they're telling me of the reception they experienced, and we're just giving thanks that.
When I went in there, did they carry any food package for the people?
Oh yes, man. One man carried over 500 meals. A friend of mine from Canada visiting Jamaica now.
Cook meals.
Cobre. His name is Cobre. Say that?
Cook meals.
He was into Cobre, a friend of mine out of Canada, who's in Jamaica, and we are coordinating. He got 500. He cooked 500 meals at a famous man's business place in Linstead, and he was so hurt by the emotion and the desperation of some people, and he's encouraged now to stay back and do even more fundraising and return again at the end of the month with even more meals. And I'm helping him to raise funds. That was one. And another one today, 10 carloads. And I can make you speak to them tomorrow, Chief. Because me and you talk every day.
Yeah, man, I want to come on. But before you go, because I know you have to go donate 20 million to the friend.
No, it's 10, it's not 20. No bother with it.
It's 20, man.
It's not 20.
No, 10 for you and 10 for me. So,
yeah, all right, boss.
Before I make you go, I'm going to ask you this question, Mr. Moore. I said this to you. Mr. Moore, my grandmother always tell me, and everything I hear must believe in.
Yes, sir.
Well,
these are people I have true relationships with. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They have you are correct. Everything that I hear, I don't believe. That is true.
All right, Mr. Moore, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you tonight,
that is true.
What
yes, sir.
What suggestion has been given to the government, if you know about it, sir, about the people who are out in the element of the sky tonight?
A number of blankets, clothes, tarpaulins by delivered.
The Pegasus not working properly, man. Like Starlink not working properly for you. Mark?
and
Yeah,
food.
my Starlink working.
Health and food.
Hold on, Mr. Moore.
Health and food first. Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Blankets won't help the people in the night here. When the nights are getting chilly, the nights are getting hot, mosquito biting them, dog dead, they so cold dead, they so this. Tarpaulin, where they gonna hang the tarpaulin?
Those who have four walls.
Anyway, those were four walls. Mr. Moore, I can't hear you now, sir. Mr. Moore?
It's a work in progress, my brother.
Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir.
I couldn't hear a while ago, but anyway.
I'm here. Yes, sir, I'm here.
But how many people have four walls right now standing?
I have not visited Ground Zero, my brother. And you have to bear with me for that. Even your flyover is more technically informed than I am. I've seen videos and pictures. It doesn't tell the same story. I've spoken to a number of people who are literally traumatized.
Well,
and so part of a welfare program is counseling for these people who are there, who are helping out, who are in deep, knee deep in this effort. So bear with us.
We took a private jet to Miami.
Yes.
Well, took a private jet from Miami to Jamaica.
Okay. Mr. Rapagon, I want you to raise some funds for Jamaica, and you and Wilfred must raise some money and tell me how much money you're raising, and I'm going to see if my friends will match it. I want you to stop being too critical. I want you to help the thing.
We're helping, but hold on there. We are helping. But
hold on, Mr. Moore, just so you know, Mr. Moore, we are in the process right now of filling up a 40-foot container and sending it to Jamaica. But here's what we're going to do. We're not going to give it to the government.
That's okay, Chief.
We're not going to give it to no private organization. We have people on the ground in communities
solid
that have not been heard from. We except that we have people living in those communities reaching out to saying they haven't seen a single person from government or private these organizations coming into their communities, providing them with necessaries so that they can move on and at least just survive.
Your service is more than welcome.
You hear what the man with the zinc chop off him neck and him girlfriend attend to him and him tell her, say, just leave him, make him dead because she can't help him. You know, you hear about that one day. You hear about the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, I heard about that one.
Okay, you hear about the people who want a certain gentleman, now I mention him name, who take in 2 families in him house in a Clarendon. Him drive go Westmoreland, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne, Trelawney, all over the place, and him find some people destitute and desperate, and him take them in him house. And that man has been over that area twice already, and him say, listen, there are areas over there where the government not even touch yet. They never even touch all the matter. And he made a good point. He said, look, instead of them dropping off, him said the Chinook helicopter can carry a whole heap of people. Him said that instead of dropping off care packages for a day, because them said the food inside, they can't last them more than a day, 2 days. Why don't they just evacuate the people? Take the people out of the neighborhood.
And bring them where? At the national stadium.
Where's to bring them where? Where's to bring them where?
The national stadium or the national arena.
I thought that was up them with them at Penn. That was their responsibility to figure that out.
No, but hold on there. Let me say this, Mr. Rattigan. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
I may have asked you this question before.
Yes, sir.
Didn't the Prime Minister declare Jamaica a natural disaster area, sir?
Yes, sir. He did. He did.
So hold on there. If he declared Jamaica a national disaster area, don't the Prime Minister have the authority to maybe call a hotel manager and commandeer a hotel and give the people, let the people can stay there? Or what he does is to order evacuation of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, wherever they're affected, take them to the national arena or the national stadium.
Mr.
Moore?
He's with
Yes.
his friend, man. He's with his friend.
Eh?
Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you a question, sir.
I got into this. I'm now at the venue
Okay, go and donate the 10
with
million. I'll
Karen.
talk to you then.
Cars.
All right, thanks much.
I'm now at the venue with Karen.
All right,
Don't go
thank you
anywhere
very much.
yet. I'm going to put me on pause and soon come back to you.
Okay. Yeah, Mr.
You
Rafi.
know, you know, you know, the scope of the problem is a lot bigger than we can ever imagine, you know. I spoke to a superintendent of police, assistant soup, and he said many of his officers are homeless.
There you go.
So that's another dynamic to the whole thing, you know. Officers are people too, you know. I mean, all the different care workers that are frontline workers, they lost their homes. We're also looking on a cultural issue as well. A lot of people would rather stay at their homes because they're fearful that things might get stolen. So although there might be some attempt to evacuate persons, they just don't want to leave. Like today, like I said, I went to Content, and where the water is rising, right? And persons were told to leave a section of the community because of the water, and they never left. So they're currently marooned. And what they're trying to do now is to build a road around the water to get them where they can actually drive their car out. So it's multidimensional in its entirety in terms of the different things that go on, you know. The efforts of the government, the unwillingness of the people to move, and there's no real leadership. I think what we lack in this disaster is a proper leadership. And I'm not saying this from a political standpoint or whatever. It's just as a matter of fact that the people who are supposed to be in charge of this type of situation were not available, and they were reassigned into the prime minister's office. They weren't fired. So there's no accountability and no consequence for their dysfunction.
Let me ask Mr. Rattigan this question. Mr. Rattigan, you are a retired FBI supervisor, special agent. And I'm pretty much sure you have dealt with disasters before and so forth. How would you handle it from your point of view? A disaster of this magnitude in Jamaica.
The first thing is that you have to plan. Some people are saying that, well, you know, it's a Cat 5, never been to Jamaica. Jamaica's never been hit by a Cat 5 before. Well, look, there have been countries hit by a Cat 5, and you don't have to hit your against the wall to know it's gonna hurt you. You can learn from other people's experiences, and this is exactly what they should have done. Beryl was a clear warning sign to them that, look, we escaped this one. We escaped many others, but this one came really, really close. So close that it even damaged, it caused significant damage in Jamaica. We never get any money. The first thing that the prime minister had to do, and some people, of course, man, say, yeah, give them advice. But first thing the prime minister should have done, should have had a resilience center, a true resilience center, an intelligence center. You could use that center for law enforcement activities, for natural disasters, for anything you can use it for. And I don't want to go into details now, but that disasters, that intelligence center should have been the nerve center for everything that's going on right now in Jamaica. That's where it should have passed, not through the office of the prime minister. Should have been an independent entity. And what you have there, you stock it up with your analysts, with the investigators, with the technocrats, with all of these people. Another thing that should have been done is Jamaica should have had at least 3 large hurricane-proof certified centers. Jamaica have none. I heard the minister come on and said, Minister Vaz, that is, came on CNN and said, We have 881 shelters. But they didn't ask him the question, the critical question, which is how many of those are hurricane proof certified? And I can tell you right now, 0. Because they were using, they call them safe zones or whatever they want, safe spots, safe places, whatever they want to call them. But those shelters, they were primarily schools and churches and community centers. They're not hurricane proof, right? And that's what should have happened. It should have had one in each county, and then you have your satellites from there, and they should have pre-positioned supplies in them. So you have your tools, you have your food, you have your water. Of course, you have shelter, and you have your toilet facilities. None of that was done. And I keep saying Jamaica is a reactive society. Something has to happen, and then them react. They're not proactive. Because
on the job training.
On the job training, indeed. Because Jamaica sits in a hurricane belt. Everybody know this. And you think that at the very least, since Jamaica, we love to say we are the biggest, we're the best, we're the first. Well, God damn it, man. Put up the hurricane shelters then. Put up the hurricane shelters. Even if you don't have, because my idea of the hurricane shelter would be for each county, you'd have about 5. 1 main ones.
Right.
And 4, four feeders, right?
Mm-hmm.
For people who can't really make it. But then you stop the thing then. So you'd have, but even if you only have 3, 3 large, facilities, it would be better than nothing. It would be better than nothing, and them don't have it. So you just start out with the hurricane shelters, hurricane-proof certified shelters. You just start out with your intelligence center. You just start out with clearing the goddamn drains before the thing come. Because if you recall, before it came, there was a gentleman from St. Anne who raised it in Parliament, and he was cut off. And all he was saying is that, listen, from Beryl, there are people who cleared drains, they weren't paid. Are we gonna clear the drains now? Are we gonna pay those people? Who are we gonna get? And them just never want to hear it. So when you have a kind of intolerance like that, and a kind of not only intolerance, but you have a certain arrogance, to come out and say, well, we're prepared, and then suddenly, whoops, we're not prepared. It goes back to what my brethren, right, as I said, it goes back to leadership or the lack thereof. And clearly, in this case, there's no leadership exhibited by the government, none whatsoever, because what they did was nothing really different than what they did for Beryl and what they did for all the other hurricanes. Nothing. And they knew this wasn't like a tornado. No, we just come up on you. This was a hurricane where you could have see this thing come for days. You could see this thing coming, so you have time to really plan. And you shouldn't be planning for a hurricane a week before the hurricane come either. If you live in the hurricane belt, this is something you're supposed to.
That's true.
Yeah. You test your systems and everything, like every year before the hurricane season. You test your systems and things like that. You have a dry run, but again, no piss poor planning, piss poor to no planning, and sorry, go ahead.
I think one of the things that we're not looking at as we should is that we have more representatives and less representation. Like I said, if we had 1 MP per parish, 2 councillors per parish, we'd save about $1 billion a year. And have that money spent where it ought to be spent, and it's to add to the benefit of the Jamaican people. Now, you mentioned, I think one of the things I wrote about this a couple of weeks, after the hurricane, because actually I was here during the hurricane, and let me tell you something. I built my house, and it was quite scary just to listen to the winds coming through, right? Every little noise you hear, say, boy, is a shingle that come off or something, At one point, I thought the AC blew off. When I went up, there's this one little shingle, had a little loose screw, but it didn't move because the Decomastic is really a good system for hurricanes, because each tile is individually strapped. It's not like a big zinc where if one gets compromised, the whole thing just come up, right? So I had every confidence in my house, right? But I think one of the things that I would have done if I were prime minister was to have a damage assessment. You talk about intelligence. Intelligence gives you an idea where the needs are critical, and you kind of scale it back, like number one, number two, whatever. You have a central distribution point where all of the aid comes in, where you're not cluttering the roads with different people trying to help. Because you could get more done if you had an organized convoy after a needs assessment of where the critical areas that need to be dealt with first. Road repair. You talked about road works that we had before this new system they have in place. And then you'd have distribution points like satellites from the major distribution hub. So everything comes into one hub, and then you have in every constituency, you would have the go-to for food. I know, say, boy, if I go to this place, we can get some food, because everything is come from central to the satellite locations. But all of this was not thought out before, which is one of the reasons why why I've always said that persons in positions of power must have merit. They can't just, you can't just appoint a brethren or appoint a political loyalist because he's your friend or they've served the party well. They are not going to serve the people because they don't have the knowledge of how to serve the people in that capacity. So there has to be an overall, in so many ways. It's frustrating as a I do several things, okay? I do all kinds of different things, and I see this level of dysfunction, and you literally get a headache, because a lot of the problems we have are preventable. And I'm going to go back to content again, right? Down in content, right? We're supposed to have all the mined out areas repaired to its somewhat original condition. There's no oversight. And the people that are part of the oversight are not, they're not held accountable to anything. So, like I said before, as I sound like a broken record, we need constitutional reform where persons who are in positions of power and a responsibility are accountable. Yes. The very gully sides, right, that people are building their homes on, that are throwing all this debris into the storm drains. Those dwellings should never be there. They should never be there because there's no way to collect the garbage. They're not formalized dwellings where you can have garbage pickup and all these sort of things. But the parish councillors look on those people as potential votes. So when your main responsibility is to maintain power, rather than giving power to the people, addressing the needs of the people, it is not going to work. Yes. So we're gonna revisit this time and time again. If you do not fix the fundamentals of how government works, we're not going to have the country that we want. And we'll always be having these kinds of conversations, this partisan politics and all this kind of stuff, So, anyhow, brethren,
yes, and we got to run before you all go. There's something coming into me here. Preliminary estimate from the Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery and Mining indicate that over $20 billion in losses in the agriculture and fishery sector. Followed.
Well, something. I think I made a good decision making my sauce in Jamaica and Florida, because there's no Scotch bonnet peppers to be had, and if you get Scotch bonnet pepper, they're very expensive. There's a gentleman in Florida that is the biggest producer of Scotch bonnet peppers now in northern Florida, and I'm just saying to you, the first thing that I talked about was the farmers. The farmers are devastated because they've toiled all summer waiting for reap time, and all of a sudden this what is in place to subsidize these farmers?
Nothing.
So that's what I'm talking about. There needs to be a little more concern about the Jamaican people, and less concern about the government officials who are living as our colonizers did. There has to be some reset in how we function as a country. So anyhow, gentlemen, keep up the good work.
Yes, man.
It's a tough time, but we have to pull together, and don't let anybody discourage you. I think when you buck your little toe, you're not gonna complain about your big toe. So when we are the little toe that got hit, right? So we are the ones that are complaining about a problem. And the only time you can address an issue is to recognize that there's a problem. If you ignore it and pretend that you're okay, you're not going to get the help that you need. So look on the problem and address it, talk about it. Hopefully people will listen to what we're talking about. And we are about solutions, So it's not like say, boy, I want to badger the government. We don't get any reward for going off on government. You know what I mean? Especially in this dispensation, you're more likely to be penalized for speaking out against the government.
Sorry, hold on.
So it's not in our interest, okay?
Hello,
seriously. So
anyhow. Good night. Good night for Jeff and the Vatican and the whole world.
Yes.
Rest up.
Yes, go ahead.
Some is a person where they left on the ground. Come on, St. Elizabeth. We got St. Elizabeth. We got Hanover. We got a whole heap of place. And sister, the place is not what we expect it to be. People that must suffer. Believe me. Up to day before yesterday, but they're back on the ground, because 3 times I go up on the ground. You understand what I mean, see? It's not what they on the news or what they on the social media, because whole heap of people no look after yet. Few look people like us pass and give them 2 look water and 2 look rare, but the people not get no attention. Straight plain. I go a New Market, I go a Santa Cruz, I go a Black River, I go a Migo Quarters, I go a whole heap of other local places, I go a Alan Bambo.
Yes.
When you see Alan Bambo and them place there, Migo Quarters, New Market, you have to come way to Manchester to collect any money. You have to come way to Manchester to make a phone call or a certain place near to Manchester. So everything closed out for people them.
Yes.
Trust me.
My God.
I watch it. And 250 people in a line for Western Union and MoneyGram. So what happened to when everything come in a, what you call it, the cashless program and like gone and them thing. Nobody now gonna eat no food. Nobody now gonna eat no food. Because if you like gone, you can't pay your bills, you can't get money, and you can't eat food.
Let me ask you a question now. We gotta run. Let me ask you a question now before we make you go. You went down to Westmoreland?
No, I never went down to tomorrow I go to Westmoreland.
Do me a favor. When you go down to Westmoreland, you see, from you enter the border of Westmoreland, if you have enough battery power, start video for me. When you're going to areas, when you're going to the community like Bethel Town, Darlington, and those places, video it for me and send it to me. Because what I saw, I want to compare to what I see. to the videos you're going to send to me?
Because, Mr. Jeffrey, may I tell you the truth? When you're there on the ground and you're there on the TV, it's two different things.
My God.
People worse than 80 when it come on to food and beverage and all of them things. Water, clothes. Believe me, worse than 80. If you have even shoes that you wear already, the people them want it because it blow away. Me can tell you that. And the three days after the storm blow, all the tree them dry up. All the place dry up, all the hill. If a rat run through the hill, you can't see the hill.
Salt water.
Me I tell you, I may never see nothing like that happen in a storm. Me witness Gilbert, me witness all of them storm from Gilbert come straight up. I may never see 3 days after all bush and trees dry up. Believe me.
All right, my friend.
May I tell you, give me a next 2 minutes.
Yes.
Let me I beg you.
Yes.
The people them need water. The people them need water. Them not need food. Them not need nothing, but them need water. Because if you give them the food, them are going to want water for do whatever them want to do. They want to wash feet, wash clothes. Them want to when me say the GLP them come down because them coming at them colors. When them come, they get 2 pound of rice, 2 pound of flour, 2 pound of sugar, 2 loco 100 millimeter water, and 2 loco mackerel and 2 loco.
Oh Jesus. What happened to him? Hello, Miss P?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the call. I just cut off. Call, I didn't cut you off. I don't know what happened to you at all. Miss P, go ahead.
Good night, good night,
You're
good
live.
night.
How you doing, Miss P?
Well, I'm me good and me bad. Me
Hold on a
good,
minute.
me have life.
Hold on a minute for me, please. The caller was just talking to me a while ago. If you're hearing me, you can call back after Miss P, because I don't know what happened. The call just cut off. Miss P, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, me good and me bad. Good, me have life. I mean, I sleep what I do.
Yes.
I may have little food. Me all stop gone. But me give God thanks, me journey mercy. But you know what hurt me, Jeffrey? And it continue to hurt me and hurt me. Me don't know if I'm even food. They help the people them now Westmoreland. I've never me not gonna away. But me have links, cause you know my work, I may have links. And what what we see and what them I tell we, it's not what the government saying. And me can't bother with the big university talk. I mean, ain't go there, you know. This government and in crown is just I do a few program, you have to be respectful. No, you been tell people about logistic and therapeutic and people are suffer. Why take up when you feel where these things then come? All right. Jeffrey Tavares carry a shipload of things come. I gotta make sure say the ground zero people have get first attend that. No problem. You know this load up is sitting them in one truck. And boss and sit and get along go give the people them. The next thing again, when me I look for Jeffrey. If these people of the Boomba Bar and the Boomba be alongside with the government, they cares anything about the human being them now down so. We are suffer. So much big hotel down there. We don't get no leak. Some of them the $1 billion we are come here. The government no could even rent some of them at a discounted price. The hotel owner say, all right, at $10 for me hotel. But this is a disaster. We still have to maintain my hotel because them are going to use so and so.
But
give
Miss
me
P,
$5.
Miss P,
yeah.
the Prime Minister has declared Jamaica a natural disaster area. And I'm yet to have somebody come and tell me that what I'm saying is not true. He can't do it. The Prime Minister have the authority to commandeer a hotel or any property under the National Disaster Act and I'm going to look it up, to commandeer a hotel or a building and evacuate the people?
Simple. I have a friend, Mr. Jeffrey, a good little ex-worker. Yeah, we used to work together. And he called me and tell me, say, no, he's a police now. Young man, and me tell him, say, I can't tell him security work forever, you know. You need to move up. I mean, follow me and he go do police and him a police now. However, he went to Westmoreland and he called me. A mom called me. Say, Mom, me sick. Me say, what do you? He said, this thinkness, where my smell down of Westmoreland when go. He can't eat. He said, I just little tea of the drink. He can't, he said, little minty. My mama never liked minty. And Mr. T said, get some peppermint and get a piece of cotton and wait to put in your nose. He said, that in doing that, get out this stench out and insist. Down there stink, me ear. People are going to broke out in a hard type of sickness. You come and tell people about coordinate. Get the human people out of the place and get the place sorted out. It's simple as that. The next year or so much. The next thing is one plane crash.
Yeah, I brought the breaking news. I'm the one who bring the breaking news to Jamaica, guys. So I don't never know nothing.
And listen now, what an insult. The Honorable Darrell Bars come out and tell people about the plane never have permit to land at Jamaica. Before the man come out and say condolences to the family for those people who have lost them, those persons must go down as a hero. You are going to tell people about they didn't get permits to land at Jamaica. And the plane ain't no crash at Jamaica.
Then hold on there now. When the Indians they flew into Jamaica's airspace, they never have permit for land in Jamaica. Didn't they land? Anyway, Miss P.
Of course, they land.
Miss P, I have a next call coming in. Soon talk to you, all right?
Yeah, man, we talk after you, yeah.
All right, darling. Cool. Good night, caller. Make we talk here live. 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
You have 2 minutes.
I am from St. Anne, Northwest. And the whole of the year I mash up. I talk to my sister all the time today. No light, no water. They don't see nobody here. So they only concentrate on Westmoreland and Hanover and St. Elizabeth. And the other person get damaged too. The government did not no plan. The government did not no plan enough. You realize that?
I'm listening to you, sir.
Yeah. All the storm come in the 23 or 24. They should have places where they have all these
Oh Lord, I didn't hang up on you at all. What's going on? You look like you hung up yourself. Sorry about that. You can't call back. I didn't hang up on you. Mr. Rat, you gonna know you gotta run? Okay. Good night, caller. Welcome. You're live. You have 2 minutes.
Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Mr. Rattigan, good night.
Yeah, he said good night.
Jeffrey, you know, so I'm tired of talk now. I'm tired of you talking now, you know. More some action from the people. The talking nah do it. More of the people them rise up and just march at Kingston in front of Garden House right now.
And do what?
What do you mean by do what, Jeffrey?
So when a march go there,
Jeffrey,
when a march go there, what happen?
What you mean, Jeffrey? You can't get so much millions of dollars and the people are dead for thirst and hunger, see me, Jeffrey.
Well, let me say this
Jeffrey.
to you. Go ahead.
There is no, basically this man is starving the people of Jamaica. If I never for the people them will get a little bus and I make it in a life where I give back. Like the artists them, the same local Jamaican people, the diaspora. At them a fear feedback to Jamaican people. We don't need a government. You know, sister, we don't need a government. We don't need a government. Or should I say we don't need this government? But I will say we don't need a government. We can govern ourselves. It only shows, look on the thing, well, the hurricane will keep people. Who will take care of the people? You see the government will take care of the people? At the same people them where suffer over here in a coal, I give back. And the
True.
artists them I give back. What are we doing with our government? Tell me. What we are doing on government?
You have a point, sir.
We don't need a government. We don't need them to make policies. Me see uno smart enough can help to make policies in a Jamaica. We don't need a government. So that's why I say we need to march go up there and turn the ass out of garden house.
All
And
right,
lock down garden house.
All right, man.
Let me tell you something, Jeffrey. I want to send the money down there. But guess when I want to send the money down there? You see, anytime I see the people and decide to they serious and want to march go up there, then me send my money down there. Me not be harsh or anything towards the people of Jamaica, but you can't sit down and not expect the government to care things going go now. You go throw him out kind of up there, I do nothing. I want to see them diaspora people, I do something for them. And the artists them, I give back. And them I give back. Listen to me, Jeffrey. People in Jamaica, and I'm just look and shape me and I say, yo, no nanny no done there, no Paul Bogle done there, no. Me ready anytime I see them ready for march, and that's when I'll buy my ticket. And that's when my money will go there. You understand what I say?
Yes.
Them can't sit on the next 5-10 years, depend on the blood fire prime minister. We say the prime minister will give them water and care food. Or depend on you, Mr. Ratika, and Andre, Vice Cartel, Movada, and the whole of them. To feed them for the rest of the next 5, 6, 7 years. Come on, Mr. Ratika, come on, Jeffrey, man. This can't continue, so. People can't continue, so. They can't depend on them for a good thing.
I am also reading something here. Basketball star Shaq O'Neal donated $16 million to Jamaica.
So you tell me, so where them the money there, now? House we start build back long time, you know? Jamaica have rivers where run down there right now. Me know the water no poison. Go start chucking water in the community to the people them.
Actually,
buy the food.
Actually, in a road in Manchester, is seawater springing out of the road.
Jeffrey, let me tell you something, man. You see people in Jamaica, God forbid, me not call it down for them, you know. But a slave will not take time go back, you know. You hear me say? If you tell me say Westmoreland stink, why is Westmoreland stink? Why the dead body them not pick up a Westmoreland? Jeffrey, we don't need a government.
All right, my friend. I have an next call coming in. Thanks for calling in.
These are the things we have on the platform. We don't need a government.
All right, man. Gotta run. Thanks much for calling in.
Yeah.
All right. Good night. Make we talk your life.
Yeah, man, I talk to you and me get cut off.
I don't know what happened, sir. Hello, go ahead, sir. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was telling you that in St. Ann, man, St. Ann, Northwestern St. Ann, the whole of the area. And my host stop blow up.
Hello, sir. When you call this program, turn on the TV in the background for me now, please.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, we talk to my sister today.
Sir, I'm gonna cut you off if you don't turn on the TV in the background.
Hold on. Talk to my sister today. And he said, no, nobody come to the area. The entire church start blow up the school, and 99% of the people of the community are rooftop gone. So it's not only Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and over them are concentrate on. The rest of parish them get damaged too. But the government don't care. The government don't care, you know? All these things should in place from a very long time. They know that the storm was coming. So there is no excuse. I was there when Gilbert blew, you know, and he blew off all the house top. And all the zinc and thing, I don't get that in one sheet. That we go back and buy everything. Because me I listen to the man that talk about logistic and all and something like that. I try to shield the government. What kind of logistic him talk about? The church and the teacher and all them people should involved in it. Yes. All the generator him talk about, them shouldn't have the police station, the hospital, and all them things there for emergency purpose. All those things supposed to be in place long time. You gotta wait until the storm blow up before you make any move.
How many hospitals in Jamaica have standby generators, sir?
I don't believe none.
Okay.
I was there in Jamaica in January gone. And when I go down and see the road, it was so bad.
All right, sir. Gotta run. Thanks for calling in.
All right, yes. Keep up yourself, yeah.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah.
There's one person was calling. I call about that person, and that's it for the night. The American government has donate more aid to Jamaica in the tune of... Good night, make we talk here live.
Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey,
Yeah,
I
man.
mean just
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. You
cut off.
got cut off. I don't know why. Go ahead, my brother.
You know, sir, Jeffrey,
Yes,
to
sir.
tell you the God truth, God love. But me tell you so, you're there on the ground and we have see the things to the thing. All of the shop and the bar them are left back in a St. Elizabeth, now the water for sell the people them. You have to go. We are Manchester to get water for drink. 300 people in the Western Union line, me I tell you, and the MoneyGram line, So anything you want out of St. Elizabeth is 5 and 6 hours before you reach back at your yard. Good God, man. When the people them reach back in no yard, because no yard now they are St. Elizabeth, Them have got catch with some people or sleep on the
let me ask you a question, caller. So you're saying to me, when people come on this program talking, they're giving them tarpaulin. Tarpaulin to hang up where?
Tarpaulin can't hold away. Where we tarpaulin a go? Jeffrey, good God, man. If a man house lose, why you gonna give him tarpaulin, man? I joke them take the people them from and I pick them out of door, Jeffrey, man. Me not talk about the big people them because we can survive out in our storm, Want to look at kids them, man. The woman them see them the monthly thing, man. Want to them want to get water, them want to get resources, man. Jeffrey, man. Jeffrey, and a joke me I'm making and a water and they are shopping, man.
Me know, my brother.
No water, the water where we step up in our look like all gully water that some people are drinking, Jeffrey. When you see the thing on TikTok or Facebook, man, and I like me there on the ground, man. Me have a blog about me now call him name. A 3 times I go down to St. Elizabeth to go look on the man mother because them can't get no phone call, them can't get nothing. Me I tell you, Jeffrey, man. If the man wants to send $1, him can't call them people, them man, for call people from town, for go. We are St. Elizabeth and Nigger them place, brother. Joke, man.
Hold on for me, caller. Let's bring in Mr. Rattigan here. Mr. Rattigan, the only thing is a burning shame, sir. That is 2 weeks now since this hurricane happened. And there is no command center for the people with a Starlink to make calls and charge their phones, sir.
Well, look, we don't know if there's a command center, but if there's one, it's certainly malfunctioning. And look, we're not going to dispute the fact that some help is being provided, but we're saying it's not enough. And especially given the fact that we've had a history of hurricanes. We had a brush with a Cat 4 last year. And we've been telling the world that we're prepared. And then we come to find out that we're not prepared. So it starts with leadership. And if you don't have leadership, then everything else is going to have leadership. If you don't have leadership, everything is going to fail. Because leadership would dictate that certain things are put in place. Leadership would dictate that you're proactive. Leadership would dictate that the right people are occupying the right offices. Leadership would dictate that people are made aware of what to do, what not to do during times of crisis. Not just the hurricane thing. It should be an ongoing initiative. It should be an ongoing initiative because this is something that I don't think we've seen the last of. You know, people say it's once in a lifetime thing. At the rate how things are going, you see what's happening over on the other side of the world,
Yeah,
right?
in the Philippines with the typhoons.
Right. Yeah, so it's God forbid, but things are not looking up for us, and the fact that we don't have a resilient mechanism, we talk about it, we talk about it, about having resilience center and having this and having that, but talk is cheap when reality hits you. Talk is cheap. When
Mr. Rattigan, give me a time there, please. Me not cut you. Mr. Rattigan,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
based off of one ageable person, when me have to go, we are Manchester for go get our medication. Based off of one person, me have to leave from town, go take our health card, she live at St. Elizabeth, me have to go from Manchester to go get our medication, our eye drops, our medication. So what me to 30 other people in the community. No, me not talk about hundreds, Me talk about 30 other people. Where the police station was to give the people them signal. Mr. Jeffrey,
Yes, sir.
the police station a Newmarket supposed to give the people them signal on them phone for call them family member or foreign or anywhere. But after 2-3 days, the police them lock off the generator because I guess the prime minister, the relevant authority, now give them the gas for run the generator and the roof gone. Them roof gone. The police station, the roof gone and the market clean. And then get a generator and it now the gas tonight. So them can't do nothing for the people them. The market itself gone, the school gone, everything gone, and nobody not come up there after nearly 2 weeks.
I remember saying she not about
The commissioner of police was up there cleaning up.
Them come way after. Because almost week and a half me they up there and nobody not come up there. And if listen me, Mr. Jeffrey, if me never have the lady health card, me have to pay 15,000 for your eye drops.
My God.
But with a health card, me have to pay $50.
Yes.
You understand?
Do me a favor.
So me have to come.
Do me a favor because I gotta run because I've been on it from about 6 o'clock this evening. So I gotta run. Do me a favor, no? When you go back down to Westmoreland tomorrow, just do some videos for me, no?
Definitely.
All right.
I may have some video on my phone. I may go send come gear because they are Manchester.
Yes.
I may have whole heap of video down Manchester, down St. Elizabeth.
I have videos in St. Elizabeth and I have videos in for Westmoreland, you know. But what I want though is some videos in the rural part of Westmoreland, in Darlington, Betheltown, and all those places.
Okay.
I need videos from there. How are you doing?
Wife, all right, you know. She's here.
Yes,
All right,
man.
Charlie.
Hi, my darling. How are you doing? A long time I don't hear from you. You good?
I'm good, but there I just observe what's happening and I stress out.
Yes.
I would love for Mr. Rattigan to look into the fact that they look like they're starting to drill the oil already. Because oil wash up on the shore somewhere in Westmoreland.
Yes.
So probably we have a tsunami. Please pray for us because Jamaica is in a delicate position, right? The whole Caribbean, it seems. And what I'm seeing and what I'm researching and reading, it don't look good right now.
I think Mr. Rattigan have something to say. Mr. Rattigan, go ahead.
No, just saying, yeah, that's something that we have to look into. And we have somebody who's going to come on the program tomorrow night and also on Saturday that will talk about drilling, not just for oil, but drilling for gold in Jamaica, something that we don't hear much about, but it's prevalent and it's happening under our nose, and we just don't, we not sniff it out yet. So we have to do that. One of the things I wanted to mention, Mr. Tavares, is that, you know, it appears as if times are changing in the sense that we don't see a lot of cash going to the government. What we see is we see a lot of relief, and we see the value. They said $15 million, $50 million worth of supplies and stuff like that.
It's not the raw cash.
Not the raw cash. Some people are giving raw cash, but it's not as much as once the case. And I am very, very happy for that, because I especially with the UK, I wrote to them, I wrote to the King, and I wrote to a bunch of Privy Council members, and I told them about the Prime Minister's issues with the Integrity Commission and the 28 bank accounts, and that they should be very, very careful. Also, you know, they probably want to take a closer look at the situation. And I sent that letter to Parliament as well, so they all know that I did that. And I'm going to send off some more, because I don't think that the cash, I really don't think that the cash should go to the government, because we have had too many instances where cash went to the government and we can't account for it. Up to now, we haven't gotten a detailed account of the 750 million US dollars that they got. Loans. This is not even grants and, you know, free money. Loans that they took out in for COVID, during COVID. We haven't gotten.
And also, we haven't heard anything from the money that the former VP gave to them
for at-risk youth.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't heard much. We haven't heard much about that. In fact, I haven't heard anything about it.
I haven't heard anybody.
We haven't done anything, but we haven't heard anything about it. And if you go to PIOJ people and you just got the money, how much money coming to Jamaica, and you see how it's spent, you shake your head, and then you balance that with the 3 trillion unaccounted for. That with 1.4 billion for buses, and we're supposed to get, the Minister Var said you will get 110 buses by the end of July, and he wasn't referring to next year July, he's referring to past July. And I think the best count we have is less than 70, something like that. I'm still waiting for him to give me the VIN numbers, so we can come out and provide the Jamaican people with accurate information about the history of those vehicles. But if I don't see
Holy Bird on that one.
Yeah, I don't see where he's making any effort to give us that information. Then we have the drill.
Yes, sir.
Before I go, you know me, I ask the people them all now, where are the unsound people them are there on the street?
I think
Before
the hurricane, and we gotta run. Before the hurricane, they took I saw where Mayor Swaby took JUTC bus and go downtown Kingston, and also swarm up and put them in the shelters.
Me not talk about Kingston and Jeffrey. Me not talk about Savlamar. Me not talk about all of the places where water are 8 and 7 feet high.
Wow.
Where them not go down them on them side there, where them a talk about that toll. Me I tell you.
True.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Me witness at least 15,000 dead animal in the water where we are driving on because a bike me go down the pan is not motor car and a bike.
You know says 15,000. You count them?
Jeffrey, listen what me I say to you, man. Me I come from Kingston to way St. Elizabeth.
Oh.
All right. You see the moment that dead animal where the two firm go two Alan Bambo alone. Sit there, man. You can't even drive through the water, man.
So when
with the water still, man.
So when Zara Burton called for the deployment of drunk, it was true then.
It's totally true. Me I tell you that. Because Jeffrey, me I tell you, goat, dog, everything dead going up. Cow, all of them things that dead. Me I tell you about one look water rise up and me I see about 15, 16 cow me I count in the water alone.
So pretty soon, we have to run now. Pretty soon, a humanitarian crisis will be on our hand. My good friend, thanks for calling in.
The last talk when me I talk. We would have believed say, and we are depend on country all the while, but country have to depend on town now. The whole of country flat out. The whole of the real food flat out. The rice and flour have got to live off of. And foreign food. I tell you that.
All right, my good
Not
friend.
even a banana, nothing. But Jeffrey, we'll get in touch.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks for calling in. Thank you.
All right, bless up.
All right, good night. Mr. Rattigan, we got to run now, sir. Give me 2 minutes and we'll wrap up.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before and we're seeing it again. We shouldn't be surprised. And it's one of ineptitude. It's one of misery, failure. And, the Prime Minister oftentimes would say that don't listen to what people are saying because they're misinforming you. Well, we're not misinforming anybody. But
good night, caller. You only have 2 minutes.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Before me run, Mr. Rattigan, Starlink they down at Westmoreland there. Because right now, I think about, we need to get some Starlink down there and some people on foot to get them to sign the Magnitsky Act, Them people need to sign the Magnitsky Act down there,
Glad.
We need to get some people on foot down there to sign the Magnitsky, whatever the word one.
No, you're right.
We need
You're
some
right.
people on foot down there. No, I'm not joke, Mr. Rattigan. I'm not joke.
Yeah.
We have to get some foot soldiers down there to sign that. This is the time that you will get thousands of people. The puss, the rat, the cat.
But them dead.
Everybody will stand in fear.
But them dead.
And you know what happened?
I'm
You know what happened? You know what happened? You know what everybody talk about Starlink, but when nobody not talk about, the government has a contract with Starlink, where they provided Starlink early this year, for the schools. So a whole heap of Starlink,
Mr. Rattigan, let me tell you, the Starlink does not collect everybody data Jamaica now.
Hold on for me. Elon Musk done it something more Starlink to them,
Yeah, but they had before.
Yes.
So if they make it seem as if, we never have Starlink and now we'll get Starlink so that people can have access to,
that's their way. That's another way of collecting people data too. Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah. We live in another world.
Do nothing. The people do nothing good for Jamaican people. You hear me say? At daytime I collect.
But
collect nothing more about data.
Every phone company collect data.
Jeffrey, me know me a tax here. Them know where them a collect.
Every phone company collect data.
But me say,
anyway,
don't forget some foot soldiers down there now to get the thing signed.
You can't help with
it.
You can't help with?
Eh?
No, me ask if you can't help with that.
Me will fly good on there. Me not really know nobody that side there. But if me have a bodyguard, me will be one of the foot soldier. That man they need to go about in business now, man. People in Jamaica now see them blind, deaf and dumb. That's why the advice call them dunce, man.
Yeah.
Me say, that is a bright and a grand idea. You hear me say?
Yeah, man. We look into it. All right.
You get everything signed now. See that? Get it signed.
All right, man.
The people are signing now.
All right.
Good
Gotta run.
Yeah.
Thanks much. Okay.
Go
ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
And people, the Prime Minister, him not too happy. Him not look too happy. Him not look happy because there are some things going on. And I'm going to show you Saturday. I'm going to show you the paperwork that if a 9 life him depend, 9 life him have, depend on the 10th, you know. Depend on the 10th. I don't know if I'm going to make it on the 10th. I'm going to show you the documents what caused me to say that. Because he's in deep trouble right now and him know. Him know. But I'm confirming some things. I got some documents and I'm reaching out. I've reached out to the author and I'm just waiting. And we noticed that when we talk about it never reached the media, and it should be in the media because it's something that happened last week, Friday, and we don't see it at all in the media. And I'm talking to people who responsible for making this thing come to fruition. And then I don't see anything. I don't see anything in the media. So, and they want to keep it from the Jamaican people. But guess what? No, can't keep it forever. It may be long, but it won't be forever. So not forever. Come this Saturday, we are going to talk about it, and we are going to show you the documents, and we are going to show you some things that the Prime Minister don't want you see. He want the story. That story I want it dead. I don't know if it'll come up between now and Saturday, but in any event, we are go through the paperwork, and I see some things were really, really startling. And the Prime Minister, I'm sure he's seen this document. I am 100% sure he's seen it, and he's worried because if things work out the way this document is structured, that Prime Minister may not occupy that seat within the next 6 months or so. Might not be occupying that seat. I want to know what I talk about. Stay tuned.
Hold on, Mr. Artigan.
Here, sir.
Hold on, Mr. Artigan. Don't go nowhere. I want you to repeat yourself again, but hold on there. This is Make We Talk breaking news. Go ahead again. Repeat again for me, Mr. Artigan.
I said that there is a situation brewing, started last week. I haven't seen anything in the media. Of course, everything is overshadowed by Melissa and Melissa's aftermath. However, this one story should not have been overshadowed because it directly goes to the Prime Minister's role in government. It goes to his seat in government.
You mean his constituency seat?
Yes. And I am going to show the document this Saturday, and I'm going to walk you through. And I'm also going to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video, and I'm going to walk you through this thing. And I'm telling you, he should be very worried. Very worried. If you think the Prime Minister didn't worry about Integrity Commission, child's play that, man. I'm not worried about that. This I'm a worry about. This story I'm a worry about. And we are going to show you and you're going to understand why I'm a worry. Because when all is said and done, Prime Minister might not have a seat. Prime Minister might not be the Prime Minister when this is done. So
are you hearing this, students and subscribers, right here in the Make We Talk program? This is breaking news. Come to you courtesy of Wilfred Rattigan. This is Make We Talk breaking news. Information.
Yeah, I have the document. I've read the document. And the document is a masterpiece. I've read it. And this could spell big trouble for him. Big trouble for him. So make him go on and him know. He's seen the document. He saw the document last week. He saw the document. I saw the document today. And I've read it. And it's about 40 pages or so. And I'm going to read it again tomorrow. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it all the way till Friday when I sit down with producer Joan. I will sit down and we'll figure out how we are going to present the story. But we also have the story upon Minister Tufton. You know, people, by the way, I don't want to know. You were talking about Minister Tufton. That market me investigation. We're going to use it to show you, to illustrate a whole heap of things in Jamaica were wrong, you know. We'll use this one case and we are going to show you a whole heap of things. So, Minister Tufton, if you're listening, not feel like say we're finished with you, you know. And by the way, Minister Vaz, the bus thing, you're not going to get away with that. And Minister Tufton also, you know, the drill thing, and also the what is it, the 3.1 billion security contract you gave to Marksman, you gave to you gave to Mr. Kenny Benjamin and another, his two companies and another company. We don't forget them things. We don't forget them. And we are dig even deeper. We are going to bring them to the public and expose the thing, because people need to know. Because you see what happened. That's why we don't have no money. That's why we don't have the money can't spend on the people, because we take the money and we fling it over here, so we fling it over there, we fling it every place else but where it's supposed to go. And so this market me investigation, we're going to show you that the Integrity Commission supposed to remove the name Integrity. Just call themselves the Commission, because there's no integrity to what they did. And we're going to show you the discrepancies between the stories between Miss McDonough and Minister Tufton, how they met, circumstances. We're going to show you a whole bunch of things. We're going to show you how the Integrity Commission basically said that Minister Tufton violated the law and violated the principles of being a minister. We're going to show you all of that. And yet still they didn't refer him for prosecution. We're going to show you. We're going to show you. But the Prime Minister one, believe me, when you see where we show you, and you know, you them say, cock, mouth, kill, cock.
Yes.
Prime Minister.
So here you have it on the Make We Talk program tonight at a minute after 10 o'clock in Jamaica and United States. Wilfred Rattigan is saying to us tonight that based on documents that he has received, that the Prime Minister of Jamaica may not be the Prime Minister of Jamaica pretty soon. Mr. Rattigan?
Yes,
exactly
sir.
what you're saying, sir?
I am saying exactly that. You're right. It may not be. But I'm going to show the people the document. I'm going to show them the document, and I'm going to go through the incidents referred to in that document. And then I'm going to show them how cock, mouth, kill, cock. I'm going to show them what go around, come around. I'm going to show them.
So there you have it. We have enough ball out tonight. Ball out.
Ball out! Whoa! Yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election.
My God.
And you know, the other thing, we not talk things unless we can prove them. We can show them, you know, and we are going to show them. We're going to show the people them. So, I work on it, people, you know, and like I said, I read the document today, and I'm surprised that it not reached the media. The media not say a word about it. I'm waiting to see if they're going to say something before Saturday, because Saturday now I'm going to put, by Saturday
You know, Mr. Rattigan, I think the media love to watch both you and I, you know. So I want to run the breaking news again and you repeat it, but they can hear it again. I mean, they can put it out. Hold on, we have an item of news just coming in.
This is Make We Talk breaking news.
An item of news just coming into a news center. We hand over to Mr. Wilfred Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan?
Yes, indeed. Thank you. People, join me this Saturday. We'll give a little sneak peek on Wednesday, but join me this Saturday, because this Saturday we're going to produce a document, and we're going to walk you through that document, and we're going to show you why there's a distinct possibility that the Prime Minister may not be the Prime Minister for much longer. And we're talking like sometime in 2026. We're going to show you, and we're going to show you how the Prime Minister's own thoughts and deeds will come back to haunt him in this one document that I'm showing you. It's an amazing piece of chronicled events. When you see it, and you see where it's going, and you see the amount of evidence I know we're not even talking about integrity commission. We didn't even forget, but we're not talking about the commission. We're not talking about them because, as far as I'm concerned, they're useless. They're useful to a certain point, but they're useless. They're useful to a certain point, but useless. Useless because the things that they're supposed to do in the main, they're not doing. They're not doing. You don't see no politician that go to prison.
No.
No, no politician now going to prison. I don't see any strenuous arguments being made. I don't see where things are being referred. I don't see where they're going to the DPP. Put her on the record, even though people have said that DPP is not going to do anything. You put her on the record, because if you don't put her on the record, you have no argument later on. Because the DPP is going to say, or whoever it is that you should have gone to and you didn't, they're going to say, you didn't come to us.
So, Mr. Rattigan, this piece of document you have, you don't have to go into details. It's pertaining to the last election that we have in the country and the Prime Minister constituency seat.
Yes, indeed. But now it's not more, Jeffrey. Me give you the document tomorrow. Me give you tomorrow.
This has been breaking news right here in the Make We Talk program.
This is Make We Talk breaking news.
This has been breaking news that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, based on a document obtained by Regent Rattigan program, that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, documents reaching Regent Rattigan, that the Prime Minister of Jamaica may not be the Prime Minister of Jamaica come next year, January, because based on a document.
It's gonna be later down. It's gonna be later down. Everything has to be wrapped up within 6 months. Everything has to be wrapped up within 6 months. So we shall see. We shall see.
And based on your legal point of view, Mr. Rattigan, it's a distinct possibility. There you have it.
100% is a distinct possibility that he could be, it's distinct possibility that he won't be Prime Minister a year from now. There's a distinct possibility. Wow. There's a distinct possibility. The document is powerful. Powerful. And I will show you how some people tried to help him. I will show you how some people tried to help him and they got caught with their pants down. I'm going to show you how people tried to help him.
Don't go any further, Mr. Rattigan. Keep it there. This has been breaking news right here in the Make We Talk program. This has been the Make We Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares. I want to say thanks to my good friend Wilfred Rattigan. Thanks to Dwight Moore. Thanks to Mark Cameron for coming on. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. As you hear, it is a distinct possibility that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Michael Holness, may not be Prime Minister come next year.
A year from
What? From now?
A year from now.
A year from now. My Lord. Thank you very much, Mr. Rattigan, for coming on, sir.
Big up yourself, everybody. Take care. Jeffrey, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks much.
All right.
Wow. Where is this thing here?
If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength, make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When the town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.